Welcome to episode 139 of the MisanthroPod. I am Snipe, and I'm apparently full of fucking energy today.
Yeah, right.
I did not mean to start that at approximately 99 miles an hour, but that's the way we're going now.
I thought it was a personal slight because I said right before recording, by the way, I've got a headache.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Don't worry, I do the same whenever we play a band song together, and it's when I just start it far too fast and loud. Every time.
It is never a problem.
Do you mean like the entire album?
Yeah. Because
wow! Whenever we listen back to it, we go, ooh, wow.
Well, for those who don't know, when you're recording an album, typically you start with the drums, and so I went first, and no one wanted to come with me, so I was just left to my own devices to decide the tempo.
We couldn't come with you.
I know, there was legit reasons to everyone, probably, like not wanting to. So I was left to decide the tempo, and it went far too fast.
I'm not stating it as a negative on your part. I am simply stating it as a factual thing.
Could you just not neg the drummer for 5 minutes? Anyway, you know what? I'm going to do that again, but in the style of modern Fighting Evil is Cool.
Okay.
Hello.
Ooh.
And welcome to episode 139 of the MisanthroPod.
Tingle.
I've got to start scratching some paper.
Oh, don't do that. It goes right through.
Okay, that's
we need some key. Hang on.
Opposite of ASMR.
What are you doing? Did you come? Am I done now?
I'm tapping some keys. That's
okay.
I don't know. It might not. You might not be able to hear it. There we go.
Yeah, noise cancelling.
Probably, I don't think we can hear it, but I think on the audio recording it'll probably show up.
Yeah.
Either way,
anyway,
both of you stop it.
That's fair. Hello and welcome to episode 139 of the MisanthroPod. This is the third time we've done this, and it's obviously the best. I am Snipe, and as always, I'm joined by the sensual, the sensational, the quadrilateral Wib. Say hello.
Hey.
Close enough. Drummer Matt, who is also very quadrilateral, with lats, delts, and calves for days. How are you?
All right.
Great.
How
Say
are
hello.
you tonight?
Oh, I'm terrific, thank you. I've slipped into the seventh circle of psychosis, but I'm okay.
What is quadrilateral?
It's like some math shit. I don't fucking know.
You mean quadrilateral?
Yeah, I think that's what I said.
Like, as in a quadrilateral.
Triangle. You say triangle.
I was going to say triangle. Yeah.
Triangle.
Equilateral.
As bad as I am, that was worse. Yeah. How are you, wonderful gentlemen, this fine evening, where apparently my brain has just ceased to work the base amount that it usually kind of does anyway? You got a headache?
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
Yeah. So I'm going to be real high energy today, I can see.
Wib is one of those people who never got a headache, and then when he did, it was like murder headaches, because it was like making up for 20 years of never having one.
No, I've got no tolerance to them, because I just have never developed any kind of capacity to deal with them. So
well, luckily humankind has, and you've taken some painkillers. So,
yes.
Yeah. Drumbly butt. Let's actually ask how you are, apart from...
Right.
Okay, he's alright.
Yeah. Snipe, how are you doing? You actually have some big thing.
I'll get to it in my section.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot. You were going to do it later.
This is a fucking mess.
You've got to go in now with going big news, exciting. You know, everyone's going to be so excited.
Watch
but you have to wait till the end. Exactly.
You won't believe about my cancer.
Number 10 will surprise you, or shock you, or please you, or something.
Number 4 is my favourite because 4 is one of my lucky numbers.
Yeah. I feel like I think every episode of this has started since we had that break. We've just started with our intros gradually degrading each time until they're like now, and it's really just it's barely an intro. It's just kind of us talking.
I mean, you could argue that's podcasting.
It is podcasting. I'm not saying we're not giving the people what they deserve, but
Yeah, the world's pretty fucked right now. You deserve this.
But I am saying it's probably not the smoothest intros we've done in the 139 episodes.
Well, I haven't used I have cancer excuse today, so it's still not on. So it's not on cooldown.
Does that count?
So that counts. So yeah, now I've got 12 hours before I can make that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is on cooldown.
Yeah. Anyway, Drumbly Bumbly,
Yo.
what have you been up to, darling?
Bits and bobs. We've watched. I cannot update anyone on the Tower and Egerton being pretty. I mean, what was the name of the series? I forget. We have not watched any more of that, so I can't confirm whether that was good or not.
I have been seeing more adverts. I have been seeing more adverts for Tetris, and he still looks very
yes,
handsome.
I saw the trailer, and it looks excellent.
I'm actually surprisingly interested.
Yeah.
Not just because I mean, Taron Egerton, again, it's like with a mustache. I mean, to be fair, if you have a mustache, I'm yours. I'm going to be honest.
Noted.
I'm going to try and not read into you complimenting my mustache on the weekend.
No, I like mustaches and you're oh no. It was completely innocent, and I wanted to compliment my male friend platonically.
It's all good. I know.
Have you got mustache wax yet, though? That makes me sound so.
I finally got around to ordering some tonight. Actually.
Oh, nice! I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because for those of you who don't know, Jerome Matt's grown his mustache out a little bit, so he's like it's at peak twirling, like curling at the edges, like proper fancy old kind of like twisty mustache style, and it looks really cool.
No, thank you.
I'm a facial hair appreciator. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, but yeah, no, like him fully shaven. I'm like, that's a guy I went to school with, and he hasn't aged. He's still 13 because he's got quite a baby face on a big lifting body, which is a bit worrying. And then with him with the mustache, I'm like, oh, I get it.
Should we just turn aside like a segment of this podcast to be like the Egerton Appreciation Corner or
men
something?
that we all like. I'd be okay with that. Would anyone be interested in a men we're currently interested in section?
Anyway, Matt, you were talking about something.
I haven't
Comments
watched Tower
below.
Egerton in anything because we got distracted by remembering that there's 2 new series of Tuca and Bertie that we never got round to watching.
Shit, I need to. Oh yeah.
There was 2 seasons of that?
Well, there's 3 in total. There's the one on Netflix.
3?
Yeah, I was reminded that there was a third one, which reminded us that we hadn't watched the second one yet. So Tuca and Bertie's animated series
about bird women living their best lives, and it's fucking hilarious.
Basically.
The voice acting cast is Sung-won Cho is in that.
Yeah.
And I love Sung-won Cho. He's an incredible voice actor.
He played a few little bit parts in the first season.
Yeah. I think he played Birdie's boyfriend.
He did not.
Who did he play? Because
I don't think so, anyway.
He played there was like a jock I think he played. But yeah, he played loads of little bits because he's incredibly talented and awesome. But yeah, I didn't know they did a 3rd series!
Yeah, well, the first one was on Netflix, and Netflix cancelled it, and someone else revived it a little bit later, so it's not quite as easy to watch, because it's not just on Netflix with the first series.
Yeah, because I remember, because we had a conversation over the weekend where we'd both seen the first episode of the second season, and we're like, oh, that wasn't great.
Yeah,
and because that one was the one that was released as to like tempt you into whatever streaming service the second season
whatever
was on.
Other fucking £10 a month streaming service that I'm not going to fucking purchase.
And I watched that one episode, and I was like, oh, that kind of wasn't amazing. And I never got around to watching the second season because of that.
Yeah.
I think it's always an incredibly tumultuous time where one streaming service cancels. It was the same with Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I'm wanting to go back into, but I'm having a lot of difficulty doing for a lot of social reasons. A lot of reasons that the writers were having trouble continuing it as well. Because, I did see a little bit on the new network, and I'm like, this is obviously very different because there's going to be different restrictions and different restrictions that have been lifted.
It can go well though. The Orville.
Oh no, absolutely.
The Orville was great in its post whatever was it Fox? It was originally on. Then it went to a Hulu thing, and the Hulu stuff's been great. But yeah, Matt, you carry on.
Well, yeah, you made my point quite well. Yeah, watching the first episode, I was like, but. Was it not as good as I remembered? It was a little while ago. Maybe I was in a different space then, and that's why. But no, carry on with it. and every single other episode is great. To the point where I forgot that I was disappointed by the first episode until like thinking back about something to say about it. I was like, oh yeah, after the first episode we were like weirdly disappointed. But no, the rest of the series is fine. Back to normal.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm good because I can't even remember what it was that I didn't like about that one episode.
No, it was just
tooth cutting.
Yeah,
it just wasn't quite up to the same standard.
Yeah, because it just didn't like every other episode in the first series. It was like excellent and like notably good, and this was just like yeah, it's fine, whatever. But yeah, the rest of the episodes are great.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Right. Well, with that primer,
Can recommend.
I'll power through when I get around to season 2. Because Tuca and Birdie.
Oh, it's so good. I love the theme tune.
Tuca and Birdie. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Where they're doing all the things that, like, you know, weirdly male-centric, like, animators would be like, we can't have women characters doing that. Like, walking directly at the camera. And stuff like that, where they were like, no, we're going to put all of this shit in there because fuck you. And I'm like, I dig that. I dig that. That's cool. Like the weird, like, John Lennon walking at the camera. That makes my fucking day every time.
Yeah, it's so good.
I love it. It's so weird. Also, I feel Tuca on a spiritual level. I just get it.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
She's great. But
what
yeah,
else?
that's pretty much all we've done. Apart from we had a band practice. I don't know if you want to mention that.
Yeah, let's talk about
that
band
was nice.
practice.
We hung out in real life and had a band practice.
Yeah,
and wrote a song, which I don't even know if I want to say what it's about.
I'm gonna say Adam, the trumpet player, and I, we have a certain way of interacting.
Yeah, that's certainly a way, and possibly the only way of putting it.
We get on very well in a way that a lot of other people might have trouble understanding.
It is
I make him
influence.
laugh until he turns red and can't stand up.
One of those incidents led to the creation of the skeleton of a new song,
which is about a trombone player, Adam's brother-in-law.
Yeah. Because now we have a 3-piece horn section, which is wild.
And they're a family.
Excellent.
Yeah, I guess this is
their little
the
girl gets old enough, they're gonna teach her like kazoo or something, and we're gonna get her in the band as well.
I guess this is the point at which we go, oh yeah, by the way, the band is practicing again, so yeah, that's a thing for the world to deal with.
Sorry. and we're also writing new music effortlessly because we're also fucking talented and bouncing off the walls.
Apparently.
It would seem. Yeah. To be fair, the amount of like food we all brought to practice was outrageous. I sat there on the leather couch with leather pillows. Gross, by the way. And just ate half a packet of gold bars.
Nice.
Gummi bar. Radio gummi. Very tasty.
Hang on, those gold bars?
Yeah, there was gold bears.
I said bars.
Yeah, but that's what... Oh, I said...
I think meant the gold bars.
Yeah.
No, they're gross.
Oh, gold bars are the best.
Gross. They're gross. What do you... No. Horrible. Bad.
How could you improve chocolate? Make it beige. Great. Yep.
Okay, Whitey.
All in. I'm British. I like beige food. What can I say?
No shit. Oh, that reminds me. I was telling because I grew up pretty food insecure, and my mother was a shit cook, and I was talking to Wib about one of my mother's staple dishes when we were growing up, which was know that creamy because I made steak. We were talking about comfort food. I made a stewed steak and mashed potatoes for all of us, for us three.
Can't wait.
I said I would.
Yes, it was delicious.
And Jerome enjoyed it. But yeah, my mother would make like creamy mashed potato and then smush up carrots that she'd boiled the colour out of into it to ruin it.
Yeah.
Then she would overcook mince and make savoury mince. And the gravy of the mince was always really watery. And she would cook the mince until it was grey and beige. And I was like, my mother is peak English cooking. But bad.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. She would make like desserts where she'd put toffee ambrosia. Ambrosia is like a custard, like a powder that it's like instant custard kind of stuff. It'd be like toffee ambrosia custard stuff. Sprinklings of just like mint dark chocolate, like After Eight mints. Like she'd crumble those up. Then she'd put like lady fingers with like fucking almonds on them in there.
Which are biscuits to anyone.
Yeah. Gross, disgusting. I hate almond fucking sweets. They're disgusting. And then she put, what else did she put? She put like...
if you're talking about
that one thing that you ate and it tasted like fucking dog shit.
No, specifically, this is estranged family, by the way.
This is family I have had to cut out of my life because they can't cook for shit. No, I'm joking.
It was for other reasons.
It was for other, less serious reasons.
No,
her cooking was that bad.
It was a combination of like...
because I remember it was butterscotch pudding.
Yeah, it was butterscotch pudding, it was cream, it was orange chocolate, and it was coconut, and like 3 other things. And
Didn't she put breadcrumbs in it as well?
I don't remember. And when combined, that tastes... it turns out that tastes like vomit.
And she would do this thing where she hung over, like she'd stand over you going, do you like it? Do you like it? I put this in it, and we're like, yeah, we can tell because it tastes like shit.
I was like, I knew it was testing my ability to be polite and British.
But yeah, speaking of beige food.
But yeah, so the practice was good. It was nice to play again. I have missed playing in a band, and I really look forward to a point at which we're able to play on stage again, because I really...
I miss playing on stage! I miss putting gigs on!
Yeah, because we took time out just to kind of recharge our batteries and stuff. And
we took time out so everyone could get impregnated.
And that's what people used it for, yes.
I guess we took too much time out.
But then, sort of when we were thinking about getting back together and stuff, this little thing called the coronavirus pandemic happened.
Yeah, which kind of fucked a lot of things up, really.
And then everyone had children, and so it's...
Well, what else are you supposed to do in solitary?
Exactly. So it's ended up in a bit of a weird thing where we've not really been able to do the band stuff for a while, so we're now able to do it again.
And honestly, it was
so cool.
Amazing to see everyone again and shoot the shit. And we found out Dicko's a person, like a normal person now. Because like we were sitting over there talking about crying cum or something like that. And then Dicko just went, I don't know what to say to that. And I'm like, and we're all like,
we found his line after over what it's like.
Dicko is our singer and lead guitarist, by the way.
16 years of being in a band,
and we broke line. Him, and he sat on the floor and didn't know what to do. It was awesome. And drummer Matt, you need to tell them about your baby. The little baby symbol.
Oh, the baby symbol. Yeah,
baby symbol.
Yeah, there was a teeny tiny, like a 8-inch. I'm gonna go with. I was trying to work out which way around if I had to over or under exaggerate it to make it sound impressive. I couldn't work it out. So.
Well, I mean, it's not how big it is; it's what it can do.
Exactly.
And Baby Symbol
can do everything.
Baby Symbol did everything. Baby Symbol was the cowbell that we didn't have.
Yeah.
And I love Baby Symbol. And you need to get a Baby Symbol now because they're so cute. It was baby. Oh, but yeah, sorry. We're just like taking over your fucking.
It's alright, I got nothing.
I mean,
we
week, always do. It's fine.
It's all good. But yeah, no, I've not been up to much else other than that.
It was awesome hanging out with you, and I think you should talk about that band that you played to us in the car. That first thing was it's very Biffy, like early Biffy, and then second was electronic, but still good, but not quite the same. Yeah.
Arcane Roots. It's a band recommendation of a band who broke up 2 or 3 years ago, so
but they deal with that. A couple of albums.
But they have a couple of albums, highly recommended if anyone's interested in kind of riffy guitar stuff. But it's like riffy, noisy guitar, but with like mostly singing, like melodic vocals rather than shouty vocals. I don't know, it's a good combo. And then the second album's electronic for some reason, but it's also good, but very different. But
I will recommend personally the first album because it does remind me of early Biffy Clyro, which is a lot heavier. I really like Buffy. We all quite like Biffy Clyro because they're amazing.
I like the idea of Buffy Clyro, which is covers of Biffy Clyro, but in the style of the band Nerf Herder.
Okay.
But that's the band that did
Buffy,
the Buffy
Pascal
theme.
In it?
That did the Buffy theme tune.
Pedro.
I'm aware that was a bit of a pull.
Yeah, but favorite anecdote from Pedro's time spent in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because he is a baby, a literal fucking baby child.
Yeah.
And because that was one of his, if not his first TV role, like major TV role, Sarah Michelle Gellar kind of took him under her wing and like snuck him a bunch of ice cream from her trailer because he was a baby. Yeah, and I think that's fucking adorable.
It is adorable.
You gotta fucking, when you're in an industry, you gotta take care of like other actors. You gotta take care of each other. You just fucking do. Because no one else is going to. So I thought that was really sweet.
But yeah, is that it for your segment there, Matthew?
Afraid so. That's all I've got.
That's okay.
Okay.
We like hearing you talk.
Thanks for that genuine sounding endorsement.
I had to do it in the style of the Al Gore talking doll from The Simpsons. You pull a string on his back and goes, "You are hearing me talk," and I just thought that was funny.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Yep.
Webb.
Hello.
What have you been up to?
A few bits and pieces. Obviously, I was also present for band practice.
Oh shit! I wondered. I was like, "Wow, that rhythm guitarist."
Yeah, I'm a rhythm guitarist. You can easily not notice I'm there.
Okay, like seriously though.
Hey, look, we're not the audience. Come on.
No, we actually understand how important rhythm guitars are. We're the rhythm section.
We're the rhythm section. We're the people that people forget what we look like the moment we step off stage.
Well, I'm kind of less like, because they go, "Oh, a femme rhythm section." So I get those creepy dudes who come up and go, "You're probably the best bassist I've ever seen," and I'm like, "Thank you," and then they just stand there staring at me, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go backstage and hide from you now."
But yeah, so I have watched and read and played things.
Oh my! Next, you're going to be telling us you went outside.
Occasionally.
Weirdo.
Occasionally.
Gross.
So, in terms of things I've watched, mostly just been keeping up with the series that I've previously mentioned. So, I've been carrying on watching the new season of Picard, which, been really enjoying.
I've heard some contentious opinions about that. Like, some people have been like... There's been some people going, "Oh, it's fucking terrible, blah, blah, blah." But everyone I know who's, like, a fan of, like... the old, like basically everyone in our friend group who's been watching it has been going, "Yeah, I just like Picard and I like the characters in it, so I'm just happy."
Honestly, I've not really heard many people who are particularly down on this season because it's it's definitely a lot stronger in terms of feeling like a Star Trek show than, say, the previous one. Because I know season 2 was a very contentious season, but in general, people seem to like the third season a lot better, which is nice. And yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's very, very mired in nostalgia for Next Generation, especially.
That's okay, because so am I.
It's Picard is what it's for. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. They did a thing which is quite fun, which I won't give any spoilers for because I believe it's in the most recent episode, where they managed to make a spaceship look angry through just how they portray it on screen, which is impressive. I thought that was quite fun. And we saw a character show up who I had no idea was going to show up, which was and I would not have thought they would ever show up again. So it was really neat to see that actor again. So yeah. I've also been carrying on with the Bad Batch, which continues to, again, be pretty damn good. There was a recent episode, I don't think it was the most recent one, although I don't know when this will get edited, so I don't know what that means. But there was an episode that was one of the grimmest episodes of Star Wars that has been made.
I was scrolling past the Star Wars subreddit, and it was spoilers, new Bad Batch. Remember when this show was for kids?
Yeah.
And I was like, I know, because I heard you talking about it, and I was like,
Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but fuck me running. Especially because the Bad Batch kind of veers between, like, oh, we'll have an episode that's kind of a big fun time adventure, like space adventure, and then every now and again it'll just, like, hit you like a dump truck, and it did that with that one episode, which I've been enjoying it. It's difficult to say because I know I've seen people compare it unfavorably to the first season. I actually rewatched the first season over the last week, just for something in the background whilst I've been painting. and yeah, I think the first season is very, very strong because it has this kind of really defined through line of what they're trying to do, and the second season is a little more scattershot.
Well, they probably. Well, you mean with the first thing they've got to really buckle down, I guess.
The first one is post Order 66, and they need to establish the norm. Regardless, it's more Bad Batch. I like the Bad Batch. I like the characters, so it's all good.
I like Wrecker.
Wrecker is fantastic.
I got a Black Series Wrecker for 15 quid, and I've been great because he's in the secondary price bracket of 35.
Yeah.
So I was just like, and everything I hear about him, I love, and I love his design.
Yeah, he's great. He's a great character.
I'm very happy about that.
In terms of things I've played, I've been playing a bit of Dyson Sphere Program, but I've kind of fallen off that a bit, which is... Think if you played Factorio, but you played it on the planets from Mario Galaxy.
Yahoo!
And your end goal is to try and build a Dyson Sphere, which if you don't know what a Dyson Sphere is,
it's
for those
like
at
a
home,
vacuum cleaner, but a circle.
It is not that, even slightly, no. It is where it is a theoretical structure that you could build around a sun in order to harness all of the energy that comes out of it.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I just thought Dyson Sphere was a circular Hoover.
It is...
I didn't actually genuinely think that. I just didn't care enough to look into what it was.
Yeah, there's also like Dyson rings and things that are not fully enclosing, which are another way of capturing energy, but would not capture as much because it's a ring around it rather than a fully enclosing
So it's like
sphere.
a halo.
Yeah, kind of.
From
but
Unreal Tournament.
Not really at all like a Halo in
space.
What Halo's meant for. But yeah, I tried to get into it. I'm actually having a lot of trouble with it. Like I'm having trouble like getting my hooks into like it getting its hooks into me with like its structure of like of how you go through the because these kind of things, they're all about the tech tree of you build this to build this to build this
Very
to build
RTS
this.
Then.
I guess in a way, but it's more of a simulation.
You have built a barracks.
It's a little bit, but it's much more involved because obviously you're not building troops to build this or building structures to build this. You are building things to physically build this, then making a production line to build the next thing, to build the next thing, to build the next thing, to build the next thing. And I don't know. I really want to get more into it, but it's just not been... I've not felt the pull that I did from, say, Factorio or Satisfactory. I think it might be a thing where with the knowledge that I have about how it works from having played it, I need to like start a new game of it or something and sort of get used with the knowledge I've got to build a more coherent kind of factory. I don't know. Although it is quite funny that the game started up in Chinese mode, so it was like I just didn't know what it was fucking telling me to begin with, so that didn't help. Also, on the sort of thing of games where you have to build shit, played a bit of Volcanoids on stream, which is a very interesting idea for a game, which is like a game that's made primarily for cooperative play, where you... The plot is you were on this island and a volcano went off, so you all had to escape the island, and you're all going back to it now, or you're going back to it now to try and reestablish a presence there. And there's every like half an hour the volcano will erupt, so you have to get to safety, and you do so in these little burrowing machines that kind of look like the mole from Thunderbirds. And you inside that you have to build like all of the things to like upgrade your equipment in it. So it sort of like settles somewhere between like a first-person shooter where you're running around taking out little robotic outposts who also have their own little burrowing machines. And then a similar to a kind of Satisfactory style thing where you're making a thing to build inside your like mole. It's interesting. It doesn't go anywhere near as hard as like say a Satisfactory or anything, because you're not really building conveyor lines or anything, but you're having to build things that build things. The construct things. It's a whole thing. It's quite interesting. It's in early access and it is a bit janky. But we've done one stream of it so far and quite enjoyed it. So I guess I'll find out after having done a few more streams if it's got kind of the staying power that a game like that sort of needs. But it is interesting to have to like dive underground when the volcano's on the way and it's and you have a minor apocalypse whilst that's happening. Like you come out after the volcano's erupted and it's just grey and ash and you can barely see like 10 feet in front of you. So it's interesting. Although the most time-consuming thing I have done recently would be that I read through the entire run of the Transformers More Than Meets the Eye / Lost Light comics.
Is that the gay space opera?
It is the gay space one,
Then
yes.
I'm listening. That's what the Transformers wiki refers to it as.
As the gay one in space, yes.
I love that.
And yeah, so to give a vague overview of what the comic series is about, I can't remember exactly what year it started coming out. I want to say like 2016, maybe 2015. And it ran for many years, and it transitioned from being More Than Meets the Eye, or Matumti, as people often refer to it.
I don't like it.
As the acronym. And then that became then the Lost Light run. And that sort of like did a complete story arc. And the basic idea is that Rodimus, as in Hot Rod, or Rodimus Prime from the original cartoon and movie, in a post-war Cybertron, because the IDW comics became post-war at a certain point. The Great War has ended, and they're trying to figure out how to live together. And he decided, yeah, fuck this, I'm going to go and get a ship, which is called the Lost Light, and we are going to search for the legendary Knights of Cybertron who went to find Cyber Utopia. And as a basic premise, that sounds like it's going to be an interesting. They're going to go and find this thing, but mostly what it is for a bunch of very, very broken, dysfunctional robots to go on a road trip with their psychiatrist and encounter all manner of weird shit and get sidetracked and generally get on each other's nerves and or fall in love along the way, and it's pretty fucking great. The lead writer, which I think is James Roberts, I think his name, has explicitly stated you are supposed to read everyone as speaking with a British accent, and you can fucking tell.
No, Will has a very thick Ontario accent.
That's just because you misheard him in Cyberverse, and now we both just assume Will speaks like that.
Well, no, I'd say no. It's just a very thick Canadian accent. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go transform robots, eh? Yeah, because that's how you'll sound, apparently. Please don't harm me physically.
The Finns can say how good your accent game is.
I'm sorry that they all don't like how they actually sound. Jealousy is a disease that will soon bitch.
But yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I enjoyed reading through it a lot because I don't really read comics very often. So it takes an exceptionally either a series that I'm really interested in, which obviously Transformers is that. Or just a really good run for me to stick it through to the end. The last series I got really into was Immortal Hulk, and that's, anti-capitalist Hulk, so, it's not exactly surprising why I got into that one.
How did that even get me?
That series is a lot. Like, oh, hey, this is an explicitly anti-capitalist series that also is full of, double-page body horror. Fucking great. I need to finish off that because I've got the compiled things of the first two volumes of the compiled thing, and I think when I finished the second one, the third one hadn't been released yet, which is why I didn't instantly run out and buy it. But I need to. That's out now, so I need to go and pick that up. But yeah, no. More Than Meets the Eye is a really, really fun run, and yeah, it has these wonderful, wholesome moments of gay robots that are wonderful. And and once it kind of reaches a certain point, you end up with Autobot Megatron, which is really interesting what they do with him. and you have Whirl being Transformers Deadpool, but without the comic awareness, who then has a really nice ending that I put on Twitter, being annoyed that it made me feel feelings about Whirl, and I can't be dealing with that. Like, it having a thing that makes you feel like big emotions about fucking Whirl just shouldn't happen.
Yeah, I heard that and I was like, now I'm sad and emotional.
He's a one-eyed helicopter who's constantly who's like, yes.
So thought you like to have some fun there.
He at one point bursts into a room and is like, Rewind, who's like an archivist, who's like, you need to film me preparing for battle, because it's going to be really cool. So here, come on, and I'm going to flex.
Yeah.
And that's the level of character you're dealing with, and that they do fun things with him. Yeah, really good comics. I really enjoyed it. I should probably read the other things as well, because the universe that takes place in the original IDW universe was ended at I think in 2019 or 2018, and the end of the More Than Meets the Eye run is, I think, that features the latest thing that happens in that universe. And then they started a new universe, which is what everything post that occurred in, and they've lost the rights to it now. So the More Than Meets the Eye cast that version of the characters will probably never get revisited. So I've sort of seen their entire arc, which is kind of wild for comics, because normally you kind of just have to choose a point to bail on. So you're not spending the entirety of the rest of your life reading one character's life. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed. I don't really have much to say about it without putting horrific spoilers in there, because I just kind of want to say, wasn't it cool what happened with Cyclonus? Which is how normal people pronounce Cyclonus, apparently.
Yep.
Cyclonus?
Cyclonus. Don't pronounce the vowels.
And I was kind of happy because whenever I'd heard stuff about the Decepticon Justice Division, it sounded unreasonably edgelordy, and it is kinda, but it's not as bad when you read it in context. So I was kind of glad that it wasn't as bad as I was expecting. Mm-hmm. So that was good. But yeah, that's all I have to say. So, Snipe.
Oh, fuck.
What have you been up to?
I've been up to a couple of things. I'll give my health update.
Oh, yes.
If you don't
That's
mind.
a big thing.
Yesterday was my last chemo session.
It was, yeah.
I rang that fucking bell, which signifies the end of my chemo.
Also, YouTube viewers should also do that.
Yes. Which Drummer Matt suggested I say.
Yeah.
Drummer Matt suggested...
Did you?
No. I was super emotionally overwhelmed.
You get one chance of doing this ever.
I hope. I really hope. But no, it's all the nurses and stuff had come out to watch me, so I was like super on spot. And then they gave me a round of applause afterwards. I was like, "Thank you. Oh, you take very good care of me. Okay, I need to leave before I explode."
I hope to never see any of you again.
That's I've had that with therapists.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh, I really enjoyed spending time with you. Hope I never fucking see you again. But yeah, no, it was a lot. And Wib was incredible. Absolutely godsend. So for my last one, I was like, oh, I've seen like loads of other patients who are going through chemo can have a visitor with them on the ward when they're going through it. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So I go in and I'm like, and I ask just for courtesy and to make sure. And the guy, my nurse is like, I'm not sure. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, let's ask the head nurse in charge. And she immediately is like, no.
The context here being that you were having your PICC line out.
I was having my PICC line, and that's why I wanted you to be with me, because I was super nervous about it. Yeah. My PICC line, the peripherally inserted central catheter, which is a 45 centimeter, which we found out, I will get to, tube that is placed inside one of my big important veins, that goes through my shoulder and settles at the end of it, probably over like the center of my chest. And the access line is in my underarm on my left hand side. This is for treatment with chemotherapy to go in, and blood tests and stuff to come out. Okay, content warning for the next minute. I am going to be talking about blood tests, an arterial blood test, which was not very nice. So just come back in a minute. Okay, I'll get this out of the way very quick. So I've had a lot of blood tests from my PICC line, and then it just stopped bleeding back like 3 months ago. So I've had to be cannulated like in my wrists or the crook of my arms. The one in my wrist was an arterial one, which fucking hurt like hell. Especially because the nurse was like, "Oh, I need to adjust it, pull it out a little bit," and then wiggled it around, and then would stick it back in. Fucking hurt so much. It was awful, absolutely fucking awful. And the problem was it was bleeding real slow through my wrist, so she had to keep doing it. But I digress. I won't talk about that anymore. And like, fucking, so which I'm fine with being cannulated normally. The thing with chemotherapy is they want to use the inside of your forearms. That's the only place they'll cannulate you for chemotherapy. And I don't have any visible veins in my forearms, so they had to put in a PICC line, which was great when it was bleeding back.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't hurt. You just get like a little. I mean, I just got a little bit of like you know, a little like numbness, like, you know, if you've been given a dead arm. Yeah. And you get that kind of like weird cold feeling. That's the extent of the discomfort I felt, which was fine. But yeah, and yeah, they last chemo. So after my chemo, which took hours to be. It had been authorized on the Friday because my white cell count was high, which means I was physically strong enough to have chemo, because they have to check you every time. Because it's basically, chemotherapy is killing you a little bit faster than the cancer kills you, so it can kill the cancer. Which is pretty fucking gruesome, but true.
Another bit of context here is that after I was told I couldn't come in, I walked home because we're about 20 minutes away from the hospital.
Yeah, I'm getting
So I
to
walked
that.
home, and then at the point...
On like 3 hours fucking sleep, by the way.
And then so I came home, and then when you were about to be done, I walked back.
Yeah. So I sent him a text going, "Oh, I'm nearly done," because having a PICC line removed is something that you don't even need to be anesthetized for, or like you don't need painkillers for it because there's no nerves in like your chest and stuff, and it's just a little bit of discomfort. But I was like, "This sounds horrible. You might try and pull start me like a lawnmower." Little bit uncomfortable. So yeah, so Wib came back when I had like half an hour left of my drip, my chemo medicine, and this is the second time they came up to me, because during treatment they came up and they were like, "Who's told you could have your PICC line out today?" And I was like, "Oh bitch, I'm gonna fucking riot." So I explained that the nurses did and the people at the breast unit did. They were like, "Okay, well, we need a doctor to say that you can have it out." And I was like, "No one told me that." And so luckily the nurse that was seeing to me, she went and got like a doctor and brought them in, and they were like, "Well, you know, what if they need it for surgery?" I was like, they have explicitly told me that they are not going to be using it for surgery. And she was like, "Oh, okay. Well, you know, just in case, you know, you need to be cannulated for chemo again or whatever, or if you feel unwell." And I was like, "But I cannulate fine because my elbows and like my wrists are fine. It's just for chemotherapy, they couldn't cannulate with that." And she was like, "Oh yeah, you can have it out today then, that's no problem." And that was it. And then, like, you'd been in the waiting room for like 15 minutes, and another nurse comes up to me and goes, "We're probably not going to be able to take it out today because there's no record of how long your PICC line is." And I was like,
"Oh, good.
What?" And he was like, "Yeah, the people who put it in should have written it down, and they didn't." This is vital medical information, by the way. This is vital. Because if they take out less than the line is, and there's some still in there, I die. It fucking kills me, because then there's a snap of fucking line just floating around in my fucking artery, not giving a shit.
Not ideal.
Not the best.
No, shit.
So he's like, "Yeah, we have no record, but they would have written it down on a fucking like informational pamphlet that they gave you
6 months ago.
6 months ago."
Do you have that?
"Yeah, do you have that?" And I was like, "I don't fucking know." And I text Wib, and I was like, "Honey, I'm gonna kill someone." And he's like, "I know, but why?" And I was like, "So you need the booklet?" And he was like, "Yeah, because they have missed one of their standard duties of care and just fucked that up. And he apologized. I was like, dude, this isn't your fault. What the fuck? You know, and I was just like, I'm just really shocked because that's a necessity. He was like, yeah, no, I get it. Like, you know, when they're like, you can tell they're mad at their coworker, but they can't admit it because you're not a coworker. Yeah.
So I walked back.
No. So I was like, yeah, honey, this is a situation. And Webb was like, fuck's sake. And I was like, oh, yeah. So he fucking raced home, texting me on the way like, okay, where would it be? And I'm like, well, seeing as I have ADHD brain and once I put something in a box, it doesn't fucking exist anymore. It could be in 3 places. And like, I'm like, could you get me a pamphlet to take a photo of to send to my husband so he knows what he's looking for? They come in like 5 minutes later with it, and I'm like, thank you. So I take a photo of it and I send it to Webb. You come home and you tear apart the fucking living room. And luckily, the box I put the chemo, like my cancer stuff, because for the first like few months, I just put everything in like a box. Luckily, it had a clear window in the top of the box.
So I could see what was in it.
So he could see what was in it, and he found it. And then I was like, and then he sent me a picture of the measurements. It's like, oh, it's a 3 centimeter anchor and it's a 45 centimeter line. And I was like, I called the nurse over and I was like, my husband sent me this picture and he was like, okay, we kind of need the booklet here. And I was like,
for safety reasons.
Okay.
Fair.
Which is fair, because maybe you could have just written it on a napkin. And just been like, wouldn't it be funny if my wife died? So, you come back, you wait for the bus.
Because I'd already spent like an hour and a half walking at that point.
Yeah. And the buses around here have been fucking shockingly bad. They have what's called like a live update system that is just
live. Yeah.
No, this is the thing. The buses have like GPS on them, so some of them are like, this buses will be along in 10 minutes, and that's how you know that GPS is active on that bus. But then it's like, this bus is due at 10:42, and you go, that one is a guess. So, you know, we've started to figure, but it's still like, literally, it's buses will arrive at any time and leave whenever the fuck they want. Because it's just fucked. So, Wibb's waiting for the bus. The live departures are just like, literally giving him ASCII middle fingers.
Okay, to be specific, they missed out 3 buses, and I just went, fuck it, and then just walked. And by the time I got to the hospital, not a single bus had passed me. So that meant that buses that are supposed to be about once every 8 minutes, because it's a decent line when it works, there wasn't a bus for over half an hour.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's only one of the bus lines that go past the hospital.
And I had to get to you quickly.
Yeah, so you basically ran all the way, and like, and I think it was like halfway, like you were fucking tearing ass up the road. The nurse came back to me and was like, you could tell he was antsy as well, because like when he told me I might not be able to get it today, because this unit shuts at like 5:30. This was at like 5 p.m. And I was visibly fucking crushed because I'd pinned so many hopes on getting this fucking line out today. And he was like, could you show me the picture again? I just, So I showed it to him and he was like, okay. And he calls another nurse over for a confirmation pair of eyes, because that's a big thing in the chemo ward and stuff like that, is you need a second pair of eyes to confirm. So it's not just one person who's seen, because one person can fuck up the information, you know? So he got another nurse to look at it, and then they read it out. It's like fucking like ammunition. It's like, yes, this is this is this medicine for this person. It goes out of date on this time. And that she was like, yes, this is a 3 centimeter anchor with a 45 centimeter. And he was like, you know what? This will do. We'll get this done for you. And I'm like, I nearly cried. I nearly fucking cried. And then I sent a text to you going, it's okay. You can walk. You can relax.
I can walk at a normal pace.
You can walk at a normal human pace. And they took it out. I will describe it, but not in gory detail. So I'm not going to be gruesome with it. But you have to move your head to the right, because that kind of like opens up the vein and kind of makes it a bit easier. The actual removal of the line, I didn't feel. There was a little bit on the exit. Like, because, obviously it's coming out. And I was like, oh, I can feel movement, but it was fine. It was just a little bit uncomfortable. It didn't hurt. And then there's like the anchor thing, which is like to keep the line steady. And they had to snip that off. And that hurt a bit. That was a bit sore. But honestly, it was such a fucking relief to have it removed, I was like okay with it. And like they were joking about the shit quality of the scissors while they were snipping it off, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then like it was heaven. Absolutely fucking heaven. Oh my god, y'all. This fucking thing has been making me walk like a fucking PS2 mocap actor for the past 6 months. Because it was just this horrible plastic lump of soreness. And then they put the bandage on it, and I was like, I can actually have my arm flat to my side. It was transcendental. and that night, I slept on my left-hand side. And it was fucking glorious. And I actually had a proper cuddle with you. Because I have not been able to cuddle my handsome, sexy husband, man. And that's been pissing me off. So yeah, I just lay on my side and I had a big cuddle. And it was, and I fucking cried. Because I missed it so much. And I'm getting emotional talking about it now. But it's out. I'm finishing chemo. I'm having surgery on the 17th of April. I'm getting surgery kind of like a health scan on the 12th and signing my consent forms then. And then post-surgery, it's going to be radiotherapy and physiotherapy. And then that's it. That's fucking it.
You've done the hard part, which is the 6 months of chemo.
Chemotherapy was... I wouldn't say I've had an uninteresting life. I've had some very interesting and maybe unpleasant experiences. Chemotherapy is the worst thing I've ever had to fucking do. It has been horrifying. And I've done it, and I'm so fucking glad to be out of that shit. I needed to do it because, well, fuck the alternative.
Yeah, the alternative kind of sucks.
Yeah, so, obviously I'm going to do it. But yeah, and I'm just so glad to be out the other end of that, and it makes me feel really happy that, I'm looking forward to getting feeling back in my hands and feet. I'm looking forward to being able to grow hair again and actually taste things again and stop scarring so incredibly well.
It probably does say a lot that I've seen many people say in the couple of videos we put up earlier this month since you've had your wig, of people who are like, oh, you should wear your hair like that more often. Like
that's the neat part. I can every time,
which is lovely, but it is not. In fact, Snipe's hair.
No, but like the thing is, it's nice because that means that my wig is very convincing.
Yeah. It's a really good wig.
It is a beautiful wig, completely subsidized by Macmillan.
Yeah,
because those people are fucking Macmillan Cancer Research are fucking incredible, and honestly, the stuff I haven't really utilized much from them, but literally everything they've done for me has been outstandingly generous and so fucking helpful.
We have talked about at some point when we are both able to do such a thing of doing like a fundraiser charity stream or something for Macmillan.
For Macmillan, yeah, because Jesus Christ, that service, it should not be a charity. It shouldn't. It should, but whatever. Yeah. But yeah, they do a shocking amount of good, obviously. And yeah, it'd be nice to kind of help them out in some regard. So yeah, I definitely want to do that. But yeah, no, cancer stuff, going well. My lump has shrunk to the point where they're having trouble finding it on an MRI, which is incredibly good news. And it means I don't have to have a full mastectomy. I could choose to, and then I wouldn't have to go to radiotherapy. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep my boob and just be uncomfortable for 3 weeks. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do that because the radiotherapy post-surgery is kind of like a preventative kind of method. It's not necessarily needed, but it's a good idea to have it. So I'm like, that's fine. I can do that. And it's basically going into what did that old guy call it in the chemo ward the other day? The bat cave. And I'm like, that makes okay.
Yeah, no. When you have radiotherapy,
you did some research on
you go into the room and you'll be like set up, and then the actual people that operate it leave and then go behind screens.
I've had so many MRIs and so many X-rays and shit that's just what bugs me. It's like, oh, if they're going behind bulletproof glass, what does it do to you? It's like, yeah, they're doing 400 of these a day. You're having one every 6 months, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's totally fine for you.
It's different.
It's fine for you to have an X-ray, but if you are the person who operates the X-ray, you getting X-rayed fundamentally 20 times a day, that is bad for you. That's
oh my god, that's ridiculous. Yeah, but it's like that's why. But yeah, and I'm looking forward to having fewer updates, quite frankly.
Yeah. You've basically got kind of a month off now to sort of recover before...
Because chemotherapy drugs take about a month to get out of your system. And they need you to have basically get a month, get them out of your system before you have surgery, because chemotherapy fucking kicks 10 pints of shit out of you in every regard, which is why you need constant blood tests and monitoring to see if you can even have another chemotherapy session. So, that's what the 12th of August, my pre-surgery kind of like checklist is kind of there for, to make sure that my body's healthy enough to...
April, not August. That'd be a way away.
Oh, that, yeah. April, sorry. So it's to make sure that my body can withstand something as traumatic as surgery. So, and it's basically like a heart, the heart scan. There's a bunch of stuff like that to make sure that my body's strong enough, which I will be. I'll be fine. I'm young. That's what they keep telling me. It's like, oh, you're young. You've got soft, supple breasts, which is a medical diagnosis, by the way, by my doctor, so I'm quite happy with that. Thank you. I think I put it on Twitter and people were like, oh, and I'm like, okay, she's a lady and she's not a native English speaker, so it's like, it's completely fine in every way, and it's a very funny story to tell, because you were in the room when she was checking my lump and she was like, yes, soft and supple, very nice.
I'm like, I have no comment.
She did give you a high five, though. That didn't happen. That would be incredibly inappropriate. But yeah, so I woke up today and I was feeling really positive because, honestly, I've been having, nightmares and trouble sleeping and stuff, so... And, I have one more dose of steroids, and then that's basically everything from chemo done. And I'm just getting over chemo, and that's... Oh my God, I can't believe it, because that was the longest 6 months of my fucking life. It's horrible. Which, and I've been doing my vlogs and stuff, and I hope that's been helping people kind of, I've been shedding some light on the chemotherapy process, at least vaguely, because for everyone it is a bit different. But, I had no fucking clue what any of it entailed before. I just knew, oh, you have chemotherapy and it feels bad. That's literally the extent of my knowledge. And then going through it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is so intricate and awful.
I think when you do because you say you're currently putting together another one.
Yeah, I'm putting together my 4th chemo log.
I think that one will be the most helpful one, because
Oh yeah, because it's all doom and gloom with because my first one's very kind of haha. I've just started chemo, so everything's fine, and then the second and third ones are really quite grim because it's just how I was feeling.
You hadn't even started chemo when you did the first one. That was just after you got your diagnosis.
Yeah. So it was my second and third one even are quite kind of dour and miserable because, well, I'm not going to pretend.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, so... And yeah, I want my 4th one. And I'm wanting to, with my vlog series, kind of show healing after cancer and be like, yeah, it was fucking horrible, but look, I've come out the other side, and I fought I fought tooth and fucking nail to not be sick, and and now I'm getting better, and this is how my life is improving. And I want human brains work in a narrative, and that's the narrative, not that it's a false narrative, but that's the kind of path, that's the kind of thing I want to put across, is I started out, I'm going to go in because I was healthy. Well, I wasn't healthy, but I hadn't got a system full of months and months of chemotherapy. I hadn't got a PICC line in, and I was I felt very strong. The first thing I said when I got told that I have cancer was, how do we kill it? I laughed and said, okay, how do we kill it? And it's like that, and I just had none of that strength going through chemo because I was so exhausted. And then I want to kind of show that I'm out of it now and I'm feeling positive. I'm getting healthier. The chemo is getting out of my system, and my quality of life is improving. And I'm going to be healthy, happy and whole again pretty soon. And that's kind of, what I want, because that's what's happening. And it sounds like I'm trying to fake it, but you know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at?
No, it is a journey that you are on. So,
yeah. I wouldn't use those words because it sounds terrible. No. I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's my health update, and I'm really grateful because everyone's still, like, being so sweet about it and being like, you know, you're doing good. And, like, honestly, it's everyone's little comments here and there have really been bolstering me a lot. Like, I've got so many comments of like, oh, I'm just a stranger on the internet, but, you know, good on you. It's like, you are not just a stranger on the internet. You're a person. You may be a stranger to me, but but you've made yourself known and you've sent me some well wishes, and that means everything. So, yeah. But I'll stop talking about that for the third time, she says. But yeah, let's talk about actual stuff that matters. Mandalorian Season 3.
Yes.
I've been watching that. I feel very much like it's like Picard Season 3, where I'm like, yeah, it might not be the best story, but I love seeing my boys. I love these characters so much that I'm willing to overlook. I mean, Jon Favreau saying, we don't have any, like, idea where the story's going.
Yeah, I can fucking tell, mate.
Don't fucking say that. That makes me worried.
I'm just saying that in recent history, there's form for Star Wars not knowing what it's doing and that not ending well.
Yeah, please don't do that. Please.
What we have seen so far of Season 3, I have enjoyed as well.
Because we've been watching it together, and I've been really enjoying it. Just, again, I get to see my babies. I love these characters so much.
But it is a concern that the second season ended with a really final note, and then they undid all of it in another series where they just hijacked it for 2 episodes to make it the Mandalorian featuring the Book of Boba Fett.
In brackets, I guess?
And then the Season 3 starts with everything undone. Which is
a bit annoying.
It's not a sign of confidence in your storytelling.
It's also a sign of the boardmen are pushing because people love the Baby Yoda. But no, I mean, I love the Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
You can tell it's a bit shaky. I'm really hoping that they do something. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a plot point. Well, the main thing of the Mandalorian is that fucking Din Djarin is in a cult, and it's not good, and it's bad. Yep, I'm a writer, and like, I have such a personal stake in that because being raised in a micro cult, I really want him to break out of that. And it's actually causing me physical distress every time he doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, seriously? I know this is not a fault of the writers. This is a fault of me being too close. But yeah, so I'm like, please. Also, I will say, fuck the r/Mandalorian TV subreddit. Everyone there is fucking stupid, and I am gonna fucking hunt you down. I'm not really. It's so fucking irritating because they'll be like, oh, did anyone see the fact that Din Djarin was wearing his helmet in the scene? What did Jon Favreau mean by that? They're so fucking illiterate. It fucking shits me. Okay, I am not particularly, like, literate in this kind of stuff.
Media literacy we're talking about here.
No, I can't read.
Oh, yeah, that's also true.
Yes. I'm just really good at guessing.
You're really lucky at reading those scripts. You just kind of vibe with them.
I'm kind of like, it's like playing by ear.
Yeah.
But no, and like, there'll be, like, there was I'm not going to spoil anything, but from episode 3, there was like a character who like has a scar on his ear, and like he very pointedly at like 2 points stops dead and slowly touches his scarred ear and is like, visibly thinks about scarred ear, looks at the camera and says, I'm thinking about when I got my ear scar. And there was a fucking person in the Mandalorian subreddit going, did anyone notice when this character touched his ear? And like there was loads of people in the comments going, oh, you know, I did notice when he touched his scarred ear. It's like, yes, because they literally put up a sign going, please observe this character touching his hurt ear.
It is not subtext, it is
text. Or, like, there'll be, like, a character with mysterious, like motivations, and someone's like, so why don't we know what this character's doing? It's like, because you're supposed to figure it out, moron. We don't have enough information. All that we've been given this so far is this character is untrustworthy and isn't who they say they are. And then they go, wait a minute, this character's untrustworthy. Does that mean that's not who they say they? It's like, yes! Yes, that's exactly what that means.
You're supposed to have more information given to you over the course of a series. You're not supposed to know everything all the time.
Oh, like, Din gets his ass kicked a little bit in this, which is funny because, hello, I've seen seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian. Din gets his ass kicked a lot because guess what? He's not a fucking cringe-ass Jedi who's just like, maybe sometimes I like a sandwich too much and then I can't do my Jedi shit. Fucking who cares? Jedi are stupid. That's not entirely fair.
That is not at all fair, no.
I know, but someone's going to be mad about me, mad about it regardless, so I don't care. But no, it's like, so it's like, yeah, Din Djarin is an incredibly skilled fighter, but him versus 5 people, he's still going to have a bit of trouble. And like everyone's like, they nerfed Din, force feminization Din Djarin, thanks feminism, or whatever. And I'm just like, this subreddit has been made to specifically troll me to death. This is an organized attack against my person, and I'm so fucking over it. It's really... I haven't left it yet because I think I like being angry.
I have no comprehension why you're on Reddit at all.
I'm on Reddit because I have a burner Reddit account and I can be a dick and people can't shout it. Well, no, I can literally just... I can be very open about my views, whereas someone maybe with a platform like we have, I have to be a bit more careful about wording my views so that the police don't get fucking called on me. Whereas if I'm a random Redditor, no one cares.
I don't understand Reddit. Every time I have tried to use Reddit, I get violently annoyed with every single person on it in like 45 seconds.
No, that's it. That's the point.
That is Reddit.
Reddit.
Because it's
full of those like men that whenever you tell an anecdote about, people tell you you're lying.
It is. I have yet to find a place that the opinions are as uniformly bad as Reddit, and I use Twitter.
Well, yeah, there's a subreddit called 2X Chromosomes, which is for women, but like they do have in their pinned things like, yeah, we can't change the name now. This is for like women and femmes and trans women and everything like that. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. But you just it's kind of just like a subreddit for like femmes to blow off steam. And literally anytime there's a popular post in there, men mass report it under the Reddit cares system, which is... oh, I think this person's suicidal, which is basically gets your account fucking locked and stuff like that. Because they're so fucking fragile. But it'll be something like, there's a dude at the gym that's like really creepy at me. I hate how some dudes think they can get away with it, and then they'll get mass reported because guys who do that shit get really butthurt about it and will fucking attack women for it. So yeah, it's that's a pretty good dichotomy of it.
On some level, I know that it is important for there to be the contrary voices there on somewhere like Reddit to stop it to becoming entirely just the worst haven, the hive of scum and villainy. But I can't be that person.
There's the Reddit police.
Yeah,
you've been reported to Reddit cares.
Yeah. I've been reported for just not being able to deal with it. I cannot understand how you have the tolerance to be on that website. I can't do it.
Oh, I think
it's
if anything,
too fucking annoying.
I find it is kind of it is a bit of self-flagellation. I do believe that is a big part of it. However, I do think it is important for me to go out there and realize just how common these views are, and because in my incredibly queer, incredibly leftist friend group, I forget that people still have problems with folks being gay. It's like, fucking really? Or like people being trans, like people having like neopronouns and stuff like that. And it's like, and the fact that I go there and I see like someone's like, it's like someone will post a picture of like, I proposed to my boyfriend at Disneyland, like they're both guys or whatever. And someone will be like, oh god, like people will be just foaming at the mouth because, oh, why did you have to shove your gayness in our face? It's like, I'm sorry, straighty.
It's
you're the one who wears a shirt that says, I fucking want to kill my wife with a shotgun. Lol, bitches, am I right? And it's like, but a wholesome gay couple, and that just it's too much for you.
It's a difficult thing because Reddit is not representative either.
I know it's not, but at the same time, it is giving me that contrary kind of voice and making me realise that there is still a lot of work for us leftos to do.
It's difficult because there is these sort of attitudes and stuff. They are both common and not as common as you expect, because a lot of the movements are funded by very rich people who make it a lot more prominent than it is, and so it's really difficult to actually get a good idea of exactly how common this shit is.
No, it's true.
And it is a complicated thing.
It is. Which is why I have the account Snipe from Snipe and Wib, and then my secret account, my secret squirrel account. That's
not Snipe from Not Snipe and Wib.
Not Snipe from Snipe and Wib.
Yeah.
And then a winky face.
And everyone's like, oh, well, it couldn't be
like,
Snipe.
Well, no, why would they say if
they would have said so in their name. It'd be dishonest not to, and no one lies on the internet.
No. Exactly.
Yeah. Bastion of truth-telling.
Truth and heroics is the internet. Anyway, I'm enjoying Mandalorian Season 3. It's obviously the shakiest one. It's not going to be like, winning any TV awards, but then again, what the fuck are those worth anyway?
Yeah, who knows what it's going to be by the end.
That's the thing, who knows?
We've only seen a small part of the story.
Yeah.
Do you know how many episodes this season's going to be?
I think it was listed somewhere, but I can't remember, because I tend not to look at that, because it kind of then I'm like, well, they've got 2 episodes left to do this.
Yeah.
So I tend to
know some series, they're like, oh, this is 10 episodes long, and they make a big deal about it.
They're doing a big thing in the Mandalorian subreddit, where they're like, oh, this is the next episode's name and length, and I'm like, I don't want to know that.
The length one really bewilders me, because I just sit there and go, I don't know or care.
The vicious arguments I've seen, it's like, oh, it's only 47 minutes, I guess I'll punch a baby, and you're like, wow, okay, what? Anyway.
I don't know, I know this is very old man yells at cloud, but sometimes I do just go, look, how about a show comes out and you just watch it?
Okay, listen here, old man yelling at the cloud.
And then you you formulate your opinions along the way, and then, those opinions can change as new episodes come out. I don't know, it's just, people just can't watch.
Why would Din Djarin do that? Is he an idiot?
I presume there's always been people being this weird, but the internet wasn't as prevalent in our lives, so we didn't have to hear from them.
I've been on the internet since Usenet, so... Yeah, people have always been this fucking stupid. It's just platforming all of those stupid voices.
There's always been the same amount of stupid opinions. We just have to hear more of them now. I think is the thing.
We do, yeah. Anyway, moving on. It's new to me, but I've been playing Star Wars: The Old Republic again, because out of the 5 corporations that exist, I chose to give money to EA because they're holding Star Wars games hostage. So that's cool. And I just finished the Bounty Hunter story, shock fucking horror, which is obviously the Mandalorian story, where I am Mandalore's chosen, which is great. And I've been enjoying it. It's pretty good. I feel like I would have liked a bit more light side choices, because for those of you who don't know, it's like the Star Wars MMO that all the story is like Mass Effect, because it's by BioWare. So you have the light side and dark side options instead of the Renegade and Paragon. You can fuck every member of your... No, you can't. There's a Mandalorian on my crew, and he's a child. I literally looked at him, it's like, this is the love interest. I'm like, I'm going to snap you. You are little. And there's Galt Reno, who I love, but I love as a character, because he's the smarmy fucking criminal, Devronian. And he's amazing. He is a love interest, but I just don't feel that way about him. And, he's so fucking... the voice actor for Galt Reno is incredible. He captures the smarm perfectly. He's so funny. It's like you send him on a crew mission, he goes, well, the beat's getting shot at. Mm-hmm. Whereas or he'll bitch at you or something. It's like, he's just so fucking charming. I love him so much. And yeah, and I'm waiting for the DLC areas before I find a partner, I guess. I tried to fuck one of the Fett clan, but I couldn't. I was like, no. that sucks. But yeah, and yeah, I thought it was good end to it. Still doing some of the crew missions. I have a Jawa on my team.
Cool.
Called Blizz, and he's an excitable little dude who's just like super happy to be there. And like pretty much anytime like your bounty, the bounty hunter character talks to them, there's like the nice options and stuff, and it's just like you're talking to an excitable like youngin. It's like, oh wow, you must be really excited to be doing that. And he's like, yeah, I'm so I'm so happy. It's I love him. He's fucking adorable.
Is he speaking in?
He's speaking Jawiese.
Yeah.
So he's just like really fun. Yeah. I'm like, that's nice. And then it's absolutely adorable. I love him so much. But yeah, my last companion I got was, I don't even know what species he is, but he's just like, is Skadge, which sounds like slang for genitals.
He does.
Oh, kick me right into Skadge.
Or alternately, it's a type of drug.
Because it sounds like skag.
Yeah, because it sounds like skag. Yeah.
But yeah, he's a psycho and I hate him. And like the last like story mission he went on for himself, because you give them presents and you do missions with them and you complete story missions and it increases your reputation with your crew. And every level, they like they have something else that they have like a new kind of character thing to talk to you about. And he was like, yeah, I went and killed a hut. And I'm like, okay, is that going to bring heat on me? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, I fucking hate you. I just fucking hate you. I saw someone post in the Switall subreddit who was just like, I tried to like this companion, but he's a fucking psycho. What the fuck? Like, they were just so horrified by him. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. This is why I don't take him anywhere, because he is a fucking piece of shit. I take Mako everywhere. She's my sister. She's my girl. She's like the first character you get. She's like a young cyborg girl. And she's like, oh, I love her. She's great. Oh my god, I'm basically her mum. I'm just adopting space children now. Great. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I'm playing through with the Trooper story now, because you like every class, like it kind of like there's like main classes and then you can have a subclass of like how you prefer to play. They have like the main story, and when you complete it you get like a gold plaque on the menu. And then when you've completed all the stories you get like legendary rank. So you have like a nice kind of character frame, and when someone mouses over you, it's like legendary player, suck their dick or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So I've just been enjoying that. It's been a fun thing to put on, like when I'm like, you know, doing the missions, and I'll be watching like YouTube or whatever, but then I'll pause for the story and I love Star Wars. Star Wars good, actually.
I do like Star Wars.
We
were having a conversation the other day of what I find fascinating about Star Wars is that, so, like, because it's been around for so long and it features so much in people's lives, it has the ability to make people feel like 8-year-olds when they're watching it.
Well, it was because...
Even if you did not watch it as an 8-year-old.
But this came up because when you start a new character... It literally gives you the movie fucking starting, like the John Williams swell, and then like it gives you like the
text crawl.
The text crawl about your character. And like when that happens I get giddy. I'm like, oh my god, it's about me! It's a Star Wars about me! And then it was just and it's just it does have that incredible feeling of like making you feel like an excitable little kid.
Which because it made sense to me because I used to I had a Star Wars shrine as a kid,
it's like a you and your dad thing because you both like Star Wars and your dad's like a massive movie guy.
Yeah.
So you know you'd always go around Christmas and watch the new Star Wars and stuff. Well, what's the new or the old Star Wars, depending on.
Well, no, because I'm not old enough for the original ones.
Well, obviously not. But like I'm saying that
I don't think they were released around Christmas. The prequels and stuff. It was only the new ones. I'm sure your
dad was. Well, whatever.
It wasn't an old.
You
tradition.
went and saw them.
It wasn't an old tradition. No.
Everyone, I'm gaslighting him. I'm sorry.
We just went and saw them whenever they were out.
I must be thinking of something else. My bad. Just my brain's not working. When is it ever working? Am I right, viewers, listeners, people who are here?
It's your part.
You're talking about Star Wars. I would have listened.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay. But yeah, SWOTOR, good. I'm still having trouble with it because I think I'm used to WoW and I know everything about WoW because I've been playing Warcraft for so fucking long and you know, that's something that you kind of... MMO players don't realize just how much there is to take in when you pick up a new MMO. So it's like... I'm still like, I've just started instancing and like doing dungeons or whatever, you know, whatever they call them. And I'm like, I'm digging it, but it is different. And I'm still kind of like, okay, so I'm still kind of finding my feet with that kind of stuff. But no, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm having fun. I just bought myself a place on Drummond Cass, bought myself a flat for 11 credits somehow. It should be like $5,000. But
it's like when our parents bought an house for £5 and a pickled egg.
Yeah,
and now they sell it for £47,000 and 3 pickled eggs.
It's the pickled eggs that get me.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be near a pickled egg. But don't come near me with that pickled egg. But no, so yeah, it's been going good. Last thing, speaking of seeing movies with your dad, we went and saw Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
How was it?
It's fine.
Yeah, it's alright.
I wouldn't watch it again. I mean, the thing is, whatever weird magic Paul Rudd has does not work on me.
I find him Paul Rudd
so
either.
Painfully fucking unfunny. I don't think he's a good comedy actor.
I don't know if I got that far. I think he's fine. I just don't understand how people are so enamoured by him.
Trixie Mattel wants to know your location. That's like her biggest celebrity crush that she foams at the mouth.
Well, why me? You're the one who's being unreasonably harsh.
Yeah, but you're like a dude, so she'd be like, right, I'm sucking your dick.
What are you even talking about anymore?
Trixie Mattel, a world famous drag queen for the passion with makeup artistry.
I know who Trixie Mattel is.
I love how that's the part that seems to offend you most. That I think that you don't know who Trixie Mattel is.
That was like. This conversation is a fucking mess.
I'm a mess. Stop fucking distracting me. It's my segment. God damn. It honestly, yeah, it was fine. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer looks incredible. Like she's in that and she's awesome. I love Michelle Pfeiffer. I don't want to look at maybe she's like Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't really want to know.
It should be noted you haven't seen any of the other Ant-Man films
because I just don't give a fuck about Ant-Man.
They're actually fine. The Ant-Man films are fine.
Okay.
That actually, I watched them not a while ago, not expecting anything from them. I just wanted something to put on in the background, and I was like, you know what? These are actually pretty nice. The fact that especially the first one, the fact that it is a bit lower key, I think actually really works.
I remember seeing about him the fucking Ant-Man. Can't remember his name. Whatever.
What, the character?
The character.
The actor.
The character.
Who knows?
What's his name?
I forget his name.
Fucking...
Well, what is that man's name? I completely forgot it.
Hey Siri. What is Ant-Man's alter alias's name?
Alter alias?
A name is a term used for...
Scott Lang. Shut up, Siri, not you. Fucking... Okay,
Is Siri telling you what a name is?
Yes. Because she's fucking
Siri.
stupid. The thing is, I've got an Irish Siri who I love. Wib has an Australian Siri who only answers my questions. Whenever I ask my Siri will come up, hear that Wib's phone, like Wib's Siri is activated, and turn itself off so Wib's phone will answer me. And I always have a fucking shouting match with it. It's horrible. It's so fucking annoying.
Anyway, Scott Lang.
Scott Lang. I remember hearing about how, he gets divorced from his wife and then, they just have quite an amicable kind of thing of, oh. And I'm like, thank you. It's Divorce cute. Isn't, this big doomy shit all the time. It can be, but sometimes people just realise they're better off apart. Yeah. And it's that's nice to see that.
The fight scene at the end of the first movie is really good as well. The first movie is I really like it. I don't remember much from the second one, but I remember it being fine.
Yeah.
Being alright. And yeah, this one, I will say, Quantumania has a really good amount of weird little guys in it.
Oh, it has, the weird little guys are fantastic.
Loads of weird little guys. I mean, most of them don't do much, they're just in the background, but they are good weird little guys. And I appreciate a movie with weird little guys. I can't
remember the character's name, but the lady in it, who's proper tribal lady dressed up, she's in the Pike, she's incredible. Yeah. She is so gender. And I love that. I love that so much. She's incredible. But yeah, no, the weird little guys are great. They're fun. I was saying, because I haven't seen the rest of them, so I don't know how this is handled. But Hank Pym has a hearing aid, and in this he keeps picking up weird note frequencies, and I'm like, I don't know how this is. I've just seen this movie, so I'm only gonna talk about it as kind of a point of reference. But as a person who is partially deaf and uses hearing aids, it would be really nice if media put people with maybe like who had disabilities and like had those enhancements like hearing aids or other things like that, put them in movies, and that wasn't a plot point. That'd be really cool, because guess what, some of us are fucking just disabled, and I'm not saying that's what Ant-Man and the Wasp are doing. I'm just saying that we don't have to make it so, hey, guess what, the disabled person gets to feel useful. Again, I genuinely don't believe that's what the majority are doing with when it comes to these kind of things. I'm just like, maybe think about it before you just kind of, do that. It's just a thing of note as somebody who is disabled and notices this stuff. But otherwise, I thought the movie was fine. I don't regret the time. I thought the MODOK was pretty bad, because they obviously thought he was really funny, and listening to the dead air in the cinema after they have an awkward pause for laughter and no one laughs was a bit weird.
He did have one really good line.
I can't remember what it was. There were so many bad ones.
One of his last ones. Like, near the end. That was pretty good. But MODOK's one of those characters, I remember coming out the cinema and going like, oh yeah, MODOK looks terrible, but also MODOK is a bad character who looks bad all the time, so like, who gives a shit if they make a bad version of MODOK? Every version of MODOK is bad.
MODOK, like, as someone who read comics for like 12 years, MODOK and Jojo, Mojo Jojo, oh fucking no, it's not
Mojo. He's just called Mojo. Isn't
I can't fucking honestly, I can't remember him. I literally had multiple collector's editions where his stories were in there, and I just wouldn't read them because fuck Mojo. He's awful, and fuck MODOK. These aren't good characters. There has never been anything good done with them, and if you think there has, I'm sorry, you're incorrect.
Watch, there's going to be like one run of comics that like completely deconstructs them and is amazing.
It's like, you remember that episode of like Person of Interest where they had Lionel like go and protect like one of the machine's targets, and she was like this Swedish supermodel, and they had this incredible like action movie thing that you just saw little snippets of, and in the end she like professes a love for him, but they have to separate, and you're like, that's going to be that. It's going to be this one incredible, like, fucking MGS3, like, fucking emotional intensity, fucking... And I'm like, no, you're wrong. You imagine... I'm gaslighting you now. You made it up. It's fake. MODOK has never been good.
But what about that stop-motion series they put out that wasn't funny?
A perfect example, quite frankly.
I was kind of shocked they did anything with MODOK, because they'd made the comedy series with him like a couple of years back. So I was kind of surprised they kind of dredged that character up, because I kind of assumed the fact they'd given him a comedy series was their way of saying, there's no way we're ever putting him on screen.
You see, like, just from the merchandising and stuff that they put out for like comic MODOK and stuff like that, they thought this character was going to be like a breakout. They thought this was the Neelix of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
In fairness, I have not seen much... Well, I've not really seen many people talk about the movie in general, but I've not seen many people talk about the MODOK, so maybe he is really popular.
No, it's just that he's straight out of Spy Kids.
I mean, yeah. I won't lie, when I saw a picture of the MODOK, like, unmasked, I thought it was a bad Photoshop joke picture someone had made.
Everyone did.
And then I saw it, I was like, oh shit, this is actually the real thing.
You went to the bathroom at the best point when Jonathan Majors comes out and just shoves him against the wall and goes, don't talk. And I was like, what the fuck? I love Kang now. But I did feel a little bad because he was like, I was like, okay, I don't have the context for how much of a dick the character was beforehand, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they really tried to make him like the slapstick, haha, funny guy, oh, he's, ooh. And I was just like, okay. Same with everyone else in the cinema, was just like, okay. Whatever you say. But no, interesting. And you really can tell that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is losing steam and they don't like it. Ooh.
It is
The
what
time for the Avengers is past. I'm sorry.
It is interesting to me that because there was obviously big like what's the word? There was a lot of momentum leading up to the eventual Infinity War and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That sort of like really led up to that bit of the build up in Endgame. That's the other one. Leading up to that, and they've obviously got a new phase they've started after that that's building up to the new big thing. And in the initial thing running up to Endgame, it was actually kind of hard to find like a movie that wasn't at least mildly entertaining.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's the thing.
they're
They're always entertaining.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to sit there and say that the Marvel movies are amazing or anything, and, like, they're occasionally pretty good. Like, and occasionally really good.
Mm-hmm.
They're not high art or anything, but they're entertaining.
I mean, they're comic book movies. They don't have to be. It's okay.
But post-Endgame, we have had a few that have been real bad. The Eternals being one of the big ones.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not the only. I'm not. The consensus on this, but I thought Thor: Love and Thunder was. I really didn't care for that one.
No, that's the consensus. Is people are just like, no, not good.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, that one was bad. That was bad.
I think it had a lot of potential, but I think maybe they let Taika let's have a bit too much freedom.
Yeah.
I love Taika Waititi, but yeah, I think maybe,
it was trying too hard to be Thor Ragnarok, and in doing so, became a parody of what made Thor Ragnarok work. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, anyway.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, that's probably fair, to be honest. I quite enjoyed it, but that was a very fair comment.
Mm. And so, yeah, I feel like we're sort of in this this zone where there is too much like cultural inertia for them to stop just making Marvel movies. And so they are just going to keep making them until
like people are fucking bored shitless of them and don't see them anymore. Capitalism breeding innovation.
Yeah. So do you think the better way of doing it, if they want to keep going with superhero films, because I've forgotten what it was like when blockbuster films weren't superhero films, to be honest. It's been since 2008?
It's been earlier than that.
Well, yeah, but that was like the first.
You get the early ones like
Marvel,
Spider-Man, X-Men.
But yeah, but they weren't.
Those
but that wasn't when it was like.
No, I know. But that was kind of when it started, and then Hollywood unfortunately goes.
Yeah.
When I say Hollywood, it's capitalism goes. Ooh, we jingled the keys. Let's keep jingling them. And now it's like that's what's worrying me about. Like they're starting on D&D, and I'm like, great, fucking great.
And not quite the same thing. But Matt, you were saying.
So do you think? Because, like, are they losing steam now because they've gone through the, like, characters that are, like, popular and they're, like, spreading out into, like, the sort of more niche characters? Do you think that's why it's losing steam, or just because it's been going on for so long?
I think a little column A, a little column B, quite frankly. Because, like, it's the moment I see arcade in a fucking Marvel movie is the moment I know the cinematic universe is dead. Because, Jesus Christ. Because just when you thought Mojo was fucking tedious, let's introduce some fucking ginger guy from Nottingham who does the same kind of thing, but worse. Fucking awful. I just had to bitch about arcade. I hate that fucking son of a bitch.
I think there is just a thing where there's... I think they've done so much, and there's so... And they because they adhere to very similar tropes a lot of the time... It does mean there is just, like... I think there is just going to come a point at which they're just going to put out a movie that's going to be, like, fine, but it's just going to tank because people are just so sick of it. And I don't know if that's going to... And maybe that might take another decade. But I don't know. It's like there is always a finite amount of which you can feed people the same thing. And... one day they are going to hit it, and especially with how much they put it out. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up transitioning to being mostly TV shows, because in a lot of ways, I think you can kind of do some comic book stories a little better in that, and they can kind of tackle the smaller stories. Because I think one of the other problems with the MCU is that because we have done half of all of the universe gets killed.
Well, we're getting into
storyline. How can you match up to that?
Well, we're getting into like Rona and the fucking like the different Earths and stuff like that now, and it's like, oh my god, it's like, because they've done the big ones. They've done the fucking Skrulls. They've done like Secret War. They've done fucking Civil War. It's like when they start getting to like Marvel zombies is when you know it's over.
And we've already done that in the What If series.
Oh, it's over!
Yeah.
It's over!
It was the least interesting episode of What If.
Yeah, they were really shitty comics as well. The art style was gross and fucking great, but at the same time, it was like I was so sick of fucking zombies by that point. Still am. And it's like, yeah.
But I think there is like the TV shows can deal with the smaller scale adventures that the movies sort of it because we've dealt with such big things in the movies. You can see that they feel the need to always be doing the bigger thing, and we've sort of got about as big as we can get. Like the entirety of like the universe, half of them getting wiped out is like pretty high up there. The only way you can do more than that is be Lex season 2.
Yeah, they got to get the tongue toilets in Marvel.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sorry, they just do.
Or I guess Lex season 3 also kind of follows that up in a way that's technically bigger. But if people have done sensible
no one knows
things,
what that is.
Yeah, no. Okay, no one cares about spoilers for Lex. In Lex season 2, the entirety of the universe gets destroyed and consumed by a bunch of arms. So everyone is dead, and they escape to another universe, which is our universe, where they then...
Because they wanted to film in New Zealand.
Where they then inadvertently destroy both heaven and hell, so there is no afterlife in our universe either. Lex is a time.
Yeah. It really is.
And then they ran out of money, so season 4, they just came to Earth.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Which they destroyed.
They didn't. No,
they didn't.
No. I don't think they destroyed Earth. I don't remember, but I don't remember much of season 4 because it wasn't very good.
Quite frankly, we deserve it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I've been doing. So we should probably get to questions. Now, Drummer Matt, you have a question.
Yes, I have a question.
Send us thedrummermatt@gmail.com.
Which apparently no one's doing anymore.
Apparently no one's fucking doing it anymore. You're all let us down. Thanks so fucking much. I have cancer. Damn it! On cooldown. Fuck. I wasted it.
Yeah. That's it, 12 hours.
Yep.
Anyway, Drummer B, what is it?
I have one question, and I'm not even sure. Yeah, okay, we'll just deal with it. Ranger Rumble
Hello.
emailed in. They're committed because they emailed into both email addresses.
Okay, powerful. Thank you, Ranger Rumble.
Yeah. Thoughts on fish sticks on pineapple pizza?
Disgusting.
Confusing.
You see, I haven't really had fish fingers in a while.
Fish sticks.
They're
fingers.
fish fingers, yeah. They're just American fish fingers.
They're not like crab sticks, which is a different thing.
No, they're not like that at all.
Yeah, because like if
Oh
someone
wait,
says,
no, fish. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, because if people say fish sticks
Because you
over
get the
here,
deep fried ones in America, and then you get like crab sticks. Yeah, that are different. Yeah,
Okay.
they have both in America.
Okay.
They just call them stupid things.
Okay.
Because but yeah, if we're talking about like crab sticks on pizza, just don't eat pizza. Just don't do that. Yikes. No, but I like pineapple on pizza because it's nice. And the only wrong thing to have on pizza is pineapple. Sweden? No, but I am not a communist. Is bananas, because fucking Sweden puts bananas on pizza, and that's disgusting. Because I hate bananas.
I've had a like sweet pudding pizza somewhere. It had like chocolate spread and bananas and things on it, but it was
That's
a very
fine.
different thing.
But don't ever eat bananas, because if you do, you're a Nazi. I stand by that. No, I hate bananas, and they've been trying to make me eat bananas while I was having chemo, and I'm like, this is the worst fucking 6 months of my life, and you somehow want to make it even worse. How fucking dare you? But yeah, no, I like pineapple on pizza. Fucking no bananas. And I wouldn't eat fish on pizza. That feels wrong.
I don't care enough for pizza.
You don't like cheese very much.
To get into that. Like, I can eat pizza. I used to not be able to eat it. I can deal with it now, but like, I have to like... If I eat...
You have to have a half an hour run up.
Yeah, I kind of have to really be hungry and really want it.
Jerome, Matt, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I like pineapple on pizza is great. I like it. I appreciate it. It's like sacrilege to Italians or whatever, but
I mean,
equally,
I'm
pizza
sorry,
has
Italians,
evolved beyond your borders. Like,
yeah, so you maybe
fine.
you should be happy to be a part of it.
like, I wouldn't ever claim that a pizza with pineapple on it is Italian, but most of the sort of pizzas we have are very.
I mean, that's why it's called the
awful
Hawaiian
copy.
pizza. What the fuck?
but fish sticks in any form, I wouldn't go with.
I love fish
Really,
sticks
to be
on their
honest.
own. I eat them on their own.
Yeah, fish fingers are great. Fish finger sandwiches. Ooh.
I don't.
yeah,
I don't like
great,
fish.
perfect.
I mean, I can eat fish fingers. I haven't eaten them in ages. I don't want them on a sandwich. But yeah, I wouldn't eat fish fingers on a pizza, and I wouldn't eat crab sticks on a pizza.
Okay.
But anyway, that is the question we have.
Yes, thank you, Ranger Rumble, for being our favorite listener of the week.
Yeah, so, no, but since No Bugger's doing that, are we just retiring the email address thing and just doing it on Twitter now?
I guess we're just doing it on Twitter. So yeah, follow
I'll
@Wib
keep-
does tweets, and once a month on a Tuesday, then we'll put a tweet out. So just fucking pay attention.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I'll check the email just in case, but
But yeah, I
fine.
guess that's it then. Thanks
Yep.
everyone.
You killed something beautiful. Anyway, let's do some questions. Okay, I've got one from Chaya here, a nice simple one. How's it going? Are you good? I hope you're good. You wonderful shiny people. We're okay, I think.
I'm fine.
shiny, happy people.
Shiny,
Yes.
happy people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing good. My health update and everything is there, so yay.
Yeah.
Feeling positive.
Yay.
Okay, got one from Simon here.
Hola.
There's another question about screensavers apparently, which we'll maybe get to. But they were asking if we remember a screensaver about a dude shipwrecked on a desert island and that he'd do random stuff. I have never seen this screensaver.
I haven't, but I have a fun anecdote about screensavers. We were never allowed to use them growing up because that's how the government saw what was on your computer. So I missed out on a lot of fundamental screensaver culture.
But there's a load of them built into Windows.
Yeah, and if you use those, it would send your information to Windows, and then they'd send that to the government.
What? Why?
We weren't allowed to talk near the phones because the government was listening.
I'm just trying
the
to-
government was a big part of my growing up.
I'm just trying to pick apart why it would be the screensavers when, if Windows is committed to doing that, they
We
could
had
do it at
automatic
literally
updates
any
enabled.
other time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was the screensavers.
Okay. Like, I can kind of understand where they're coming from about, like, oh, if you were downloading them, you could get viruses from them. Like,
No, viruses
you know-
were when I was on the computer, even though my father was looking at bimbo porn.
Well, yes.
No shade against bimbos. I'm just sorry people like my dad Google you. Ugh.
Johnny Castaway.
Johnny Castaway.
It's a screensaver released in 1992 by Sierra Online/Dynamix.
Oh, okay.
Marketed under the Screen Antics brand as the world's first storytelling screensaver.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's very before my time. I didn't get a PC until, like, the late 90s, so...
Wow, amateur. And yeah, I wasn't allowed to use screensavers because of the government, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun though. But he just hangs out on a desert island and like occasionally does stuff, and like the story slowly progresses. There's various Easter eggs for Halloween and Christmas and various things.
Not Easter though, ironically.
Huh.
I made myself laugh. Oh, that's interesting.
Well,
Thanks
fun,
for letting us
but
know.
I've never
about
heard
that.
of it before.
Interesting. Okay, another question from Seamus. What's your favourite sound to hear?
At the moment, I have a couple. One of them is there's that cat that meows at the person who sounds like a southern gentleman. And it's like they go up and filming their cat, and the cat turns around and goes, "Well, hi!"
It sounds like it's going well.
It sounds like it goes, "Well, hi!" And I
that's
love
good.
that.
That is a good sound.
That is a good
That's
sound. And my other
Okay.
one is this is the pattern that I'm just applying to lots of other sentences in my life. But there is a voice line from the game Blood, where if you win at one of the carnival games, and the main character goes, "Ooh, I won. And I've been it's like, ooh, I'm here. That's what I'm doing right now. So that's my answer.
Okay.
Wib, what about you?
I don't know.
Come?
It's a pretty fun sound.
Just
Oh, I thought you meant the word.
Oh, no, no, cum is a fun word.
It's a fun word.
Yeah.
I don't know. I legitimately don't know.
Okay.
Matt, you got anything for that?
Is that Matt is your favourite word?
This is my favourite sound. Are you ready?
Yep.
No. Did you do it?
No. Silence.
Did you just fart?
I did it, but I was meant to get a reaction from you, but fucking Discord apparently... Hang on. No. This is... Sorry, audience, you'll have to hear it twice. I'm going to go to Discord. I need to turn off the stupid audio clipping. How do I do that? Right, okay, bear with me. No.
Oh, we're taking everyone on a little journey here.
Okay.
How do I do the thing on the Discord that automatically cuts off when I'm talking or not?
Just turn your receive volume up.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. How do I do that? Oh, there we go. Noise suppression.
You are such a dad.
Noise suppression, turn off. Right, okay, let's try again. Let's see if this works. Okay. Are you... Oh, hang on.
No, you are triggering me.
That's my favourite sound.
Stop it. You're okay, backstory. The fucking cowbell thing that he just did.
Oh, yeah, the cowbell was a mistake. Ignore the cowbell.
No.
It's the kick and snare from the start of Lobsters, which freaks Snipe out every single time. Because it's the intro to a song.
Because it forces me into panic every time you do it. Because I'll be mid-conversation talking about cum or something, and then I'll just see this... And I'll just be like, ah! And I'll freak out and have to start playing it. And you son of a bitch.
It's the best.
I fucking hate you.
There we go. Hope that was worth it.
Well, since I'm going to have to make a note to make sure that sounds even remotely listenable on the edit.
Yep, you're welcome.
Good.
Oh my god.
Like I might just insert the actual thing in
and
that, so it's actually
trigger me
listenable.
violently. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So that's good. Okay, right. Qui-Gon Jim Albans.
Good name.
Albans, sorry. If you could create the next Star Trek series, what would you do?
Oh, it'd be Mando X Snipe, the fully first XXX rated
Star Trek.
Oh, I don't care then. I was seriously thinking about Star Wars. It would be me and that hot pilot from Picard.
Rios. I remembered his name.
Rios. Oh, that man. It wouldn't be sexy. It'd just be like me sitting there being like, you are pretty, and I would like to comb your hair.
I mean, the obvious answer is to do something in the the Lost era, the era between the sort of next gen movies and TNG. Is sort of a large period of time that not much has been done with on screen anyway. So where everyone's wearing the big monster maroon outfits with the very 70s trousers.
Very 70s.
That'd be sort of the obvious thing. I have my pet project, which I want to do, which I would like to do, which is to set it in a much further future thing and have a Miranda class.
You and fucking Miranda.
That has been repeatedly modified and changed out, so there's no part of the original ship left. It is the USS Theseus.
You could be making this up and Matt and I'd be like, yes, Theseus.
Right, yes, quite.
The ship of Theseus.
Almonds, to be specific.
Of the philosophical argument about the question of if you replace every piece of a ship, is it still the same ship? The joke, a joke that was famously done very simply and well in Only Fools and Horses with Trigger's broom.
Speaking of triggers.
I know, you don't like Only Fools and Horses.
I brought it up.
Okay, another question from Hale. Are the lyrics to your songs available anywhere?
We've tried this multiple times. There are some people have scribed them. There's been a few kind of like people who have put up they're like completely independent of us who have done that.
Yeah.
But no, we do. There is in the second album, I think, all the text on it is like 0.6 text.
I believe both albums do have the lyrics in them. Actually, the first one might.
And also, people occasionally email us going, "Can I buy an album?" And honestly, it's a fucking nightmare. So just. We're blazing in
The
banner.
short answer is, if you want the lyrics, then maybe come buy an album from us when we play gigs again.
Which we will shout about. So yeah,
When we play within 10 miles of Derby.
Because Derby is just everything's in Leicester now. All the gigs are in Leicester now. That's just the way it goes.
I don't know. It's been a long time since I played a gig. I couldn't possibly say that.
Anyway, I found the original wallpaper question. So Ed Fortune. Screensaver for my brain is an adorable animation of a goblin chasing a butterfly. What's the screensaver for you and your fellow podcasters' brains? That's an interesting question. I can't do that because then my thoughts will be sent to the government. No, I'm joking. I don't believe that. I don't know. I guess like if I'm anxious, it's the brick maze. Because that always made me a bit uncomfortable because I was always playing it on my school computers.
Yeah, it's always playing on school computers.
It was just, it freaked me out because I was like, is this like Wolfenstein but shit? And it frightens me.
I like changing the textures on it.
You can do that?
Yeah, you can change the textures on the maze.
I wasn't allowed to use them because
So you can change the wall. I remember doing it once with
like
the shiny art off a Raichu Pokemon card.
Oh, that sounds sick as fuck. I bet it looked awful.
It looked terrible.
But I bet you felt so boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you could change. I can't remember if you could change each texture individually. I think it was just like, oh, change the walls to this texture or whatever. I think that was all you could do. But you could change the texture, yes.
I'm trying again because I'm not really up on old like screensavers because they were verboten in mine household.
I think the idea is it's less about a specific screensaver and more just like the idle screen in your brain.
Yeah. What do you tend to daydream about? I guess is.
You're really asking me that question.
Yeah, that feels like a dangerous variant of that question.
Yeah, I did ask that. I think that's what the original question's getting at.
Okay, well, kind of what's my default kind of thing?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know, really. I think I tend to think about stories I want to write a lot.
Yeah, I tend to be a words guy, so like I'm
well, no,
quite
I don't
often...
think words. I just think about scenes, and I think about certain things in the scenes, like what's the light levels going to be at? Does the light feel warm or cold? Is the character comfortable? Are the characters in love? Do they hate each other? Are they friends? You know, like kind of. I guess I just think of stuff like that. It's my default.
Tends to be where I am is what my brain kind of defaults to. Like if I'm in the shower, that's where I write music. Like I come up with ideas for songs like while I'm in the shower.
Now I'm just imagining you in like glorious full detail, just running naked out the shower, dripping wet, running to
grabbing
your guitar,
his SG. And then he's like, I can't figure
Snipe
out
just sat
what...
there being like, I don't know if I'm confused or turned on right now.
It's a hearty mix of both, honestly. Because I'm like, naked man, we're wielding a guitar, and then he's like, why are my strings always so rusty? And I'm like, I don't know. Fucking who knows? He's still holding the dove, and it's just like, just soaping up the fucking chords. It's fucking like, yeah, mate.
Dove is a brand of soap for people that don't know.
No, he eats chocolate in the shower, but it has to be imported from America.
Galaxy is called Dove in America.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that you didn't just say a bird, which would be the simplest version of that joke.
Do you remember? Because this was before we were dating. My brother and I got obsessed with the misheard lyric from The Darkness, which is, I believe in a thing called Dove. It flies around and is above. And my brother and I just kept, and that's all we said to each other for like 3 months. It was so fucking funny because we both have ADHD and we have, we repetitively, get use out of idiosyncratic languages. Like he will randomly send me a pigeon emoji, and that's everything. He's the pigeon emoji guy. I'm the crocodile emoji guy.
Why crocodile emoji?
It just feels right.
All right, okay. Matt, do you have any input on this one? Because I really don't have any consequence to say.
I'm usually researching something.
Tits.
Like...
I wouldn't be surprised. Can I make a guess?
New laptops or new tellies, or not that I actually want to get, but I usually have something in my head where if I was to get a new laptop, what would I get? So then my default thing to, like, if I'm just bored or whatever, is just to, in my head, compare specs of the things that I've looked up on, which is incredibly dull. But it's kind of what my brain just defaults to.
I get you.
That's fine. I get you.
Yeah, it's less visual, I guess, but because it's kind of by definition not a screensaver.
But it is interesting. Like I do want to piggyback off this question. which I think is quite a good one. And I just want to say, you've already said, Wib, that you're more of you think in words. So does that mean you think text or you think spoken, like you can hear your own voice in your head?
Spoken
Oh
word.
shit! This is going down, and we need a whole podcast to discuss this.
No, I'm just very curious as to like how each of it, because everyone's brain works so differently.
Yeah.
Mine is like I go back and forth because like when I'm kind of like thinking about a problem, I think about it in my own voice, like I rubber duck myself.
Yeah, effectively, yeah, I do that.
But when I'm thinking of like anything else, it's usually kind of like it's like if I'm thinking about creative stuff, like if I'm thinking about a story or a D&D hook I'm trying to do, then it will all be visual and like it's like it's like a movie scene for me. It's like I have to construct it like that.
Yeah, I think if you're thinking of like narrative things, I like.
No, if I'm thinking of his creative stuff, I think of it like that.
Word, but you're thinking of something that is visual in its thing. Then yeah, that's something which I can do.
Yeah.
But if I'm just my usual like thing is to think about in like it's the spoken word.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is why I videos and things like quite often intros and things I will have. Usually while I'm trying to get to sleep and my brain's like being a dick and making me think about things.
Yeah.
Like quite often the intros of videos get written like that because I'm just like, how do I broach a topic? And then it just kind of it appears in my brain and then I write it down so it's not in my brain anymore.
Okay. But what about you? Because you're quite an analytical kind of person. You're a very kind of smart person. And I am not, as you can tell by the way I'm like, you think good. So I can imagine you being quite a direct kind of thinker.
Yeah, I don't think I hear my own voice when I think. But it's so hard to tell because it's such a big question.
It is.
And like, some people might think or do obviously think differently, but some people then also interpret it differently as well. I don't know. Yeah, it's a big one.
It's a very, very...
Yeah.
It's the answer can be as long or as short as you like.
I don't think I hear my voice when I think to myself.
Okay. I was just wondering, yeah.
But the words do happen. I don't see them written down, but I don't hear them either.
It's more kind of like an instinctual, the words have been said.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I get that. That's kind of my default, I guess, as well. It's kind of like, I know that something... but you don't hear it happen. The words have just happened.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So it's like it's like when you're thinking you're remembering something you have just said. Oh, I'm getting
okay. Yeah. That's quite a good way of describing it, I think. Yeah.
Really? Thank you.
Yeah, no,
okay.
that was good. That was good.
Okay. Well.
Did you want to carry on asking the questions?
Yeah, sure. Jewel Night Jess says, what time is it? And I will say, it's time to Jewel. Night Jess is open for commissions. Good question.
10:10, by the way.
It's 10:10. We've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah.
In the evening.
Hashi. I have a few. One, do you ever crave mozzarella sticks?
No.
Yes, all the time, yes.
I think they're gross. It's just grease. I like cheese. I like stick. I like sticks. I like cheese. Never the twain shall meet.
Yeah.
Blech, terrible. 2, since it was International Frog Day, how do you feel about about Space Slan?
I mean, they're a part of canon. Yeah.
Yeah, they're certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with them returning, especially if they were the giant grumpy frogs that we have in Age of Sigmar. That because I relatively recently painted. I say relatively recently; it's quite a while ago now. Painted one.
We're old. It's as long as it's in the last 10 years, that's relatively recent.
Yeah, pretty much. Painted one of the Finecast ones, and they were great fun.
They also posted a picture of an otter who looks very cheeky after having drunk milk and says, "Look at this otter." Sorry, Hashi, not a question. Assassins are dispatched to your location. Shanus, if you had to make a video of one of your songs, which one and what would it be like?
Grannies.
I mean, I don't want to see that.
Looking at my wiener.
No, I wish we should have had the idea at the time. I had this real firm idea in my head where Dicko would play both himself and his granny.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah.
And you'd obviously not see anything, and like
You squirt mayonnaise at Dicko in a wig.
and whenever it would cut back to us playing, it'd be done in the most classy way possible.
I'd be on a double bass.
Yeah, I was
'Cause
thinking.
I couldn't be on an electric one.
I was thinking like we'd have the whole thing of like boy bands when they do a ballad and they'd be all sitting down and then
then
when
they
it gets
stand
halfway
up
through
at
they
the
stand up
swell.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
do
yeah.
that and everything.
Yeah.
But I'd have to be sitting down playing a double bass with my arms
fine.
in the air.
Yeah, we'd figure it out.
Yeah.
Or I'd stand on a step stool or something.
Maybe
we'd be sat on stools. That's that
Maybe-
part of the band
maybe
thing,
even,
so you can just be on a tall stool.
Yeah.
Maybe I could just put high heels on.
Like old bands and stuff, you'd see
Very
them
quickly.
when they're at when they would be playing, and they'd have like a little guard in front of them that each one would
What,
have.
like a bouncer?
No, it's like a physical
Oh,
thing.
like a barrier.
Like a barrier in
Okay,
front of them.
okay,
You'd see
okay,
it in
okay,
like
okay,
little
okay.
orchestras and things sometimes. Like maybe with those, like to make it look extra classy.
Yeah. And like one of us would be wearing a shawl.
Yeah, like we'd all be dressed up. We would all look like it'd be suits and nice dresses as
Coats and
appropriate.
like,
you know.
what was it? And coats? No. What? Fuck.
Coats.
Okay, I'll write that down so we can cut it out. 206.
Yep. Remove all the.
Well, then we can't have a video, can we?
Hey. But yeah, that is the one I always saw in my head of how to do.
Yeah.
I do actually have a bit of an idea for the new song we've written if we get around to recording that.
Adam
for a
and I
video.
have a lot of ideas about.
I have ideas that can be actually made.
No, you can make our ideas. You're just a coward.
I'm not sure some of your ideas
No,
are
I
physically possible.
I don't think that they are physically possible to perform in the world with any degree of decency. So,
But yeah, we should, if we get bound to like doing another EP or album or recording or
I really
whatever,
want
or even
to.
just a single or whatever, like we should totally do a video with it. 'Cause especially now you guys have like, since our last, because when was the last album?
Fucking yonks ago, mate.
was it
2016?
Because I did the album art for that one.
Yeah, it was 2016 because we did because that was our last our last proper gig, and then we
Yeah.
had a reunion gig the next year for the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
2007.
Yeah,
we got
because
together.
2016, you guys were making videos, but you were just doing your gameplay videos at that point, right?
Yeah, we weren't doing
So
like
since
stuff
then,
that
you've had
mattered.
so much like experience doing like live action stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I was
we could
bitching
just get
about
you guys
TV.
to do our videos for us.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, no, we'll do
Like-
that. That's fine. I'll write the jokes and it's fine. But no, I think I really do like. We have been talking for years about what song would we do a video for.
We started. We got down the sort of pre-production phase of doing one for Brain Salad.
Yeah, but I think it's because we were also burnt. Apart from Dicko, we're also burnt out on zombies. We just didn't fucking really want to do it. Maybe I'm just
Yeah, maybe.
projecting. I don't know.
know.
But
This
I
was a long
personally,
time ago.
it's a very long time ago. So But
yeah, the
no,
first album was like 2010, so
shit.
that was a long time ago. But yeah, no.
But yeah, no, that's a good question, and yeah, like I do think it's going to be one of our newer ones because the thing with I will say a lot of our older songs maybe were a bit younger and weren't as sensitive to certain things, and like playing our old songs now kind of makes me wince a little.
There's a couple.
There's a couple of things in there where it's like this isn't very cool. I don't feel good about this. But then it's like we didn't mean it in an intentionally harmful or kind of like shitty way, but like kind of being a bit more socially aware now, I'm like looking back and going, oh, it would have been nice if we didn't do that.
In fairness, that is the minority of songs. So.
It is, but it's still a thing, and it's good because that shows that we've grown.
Yeah.
And and honestly, I really love our new songs. Like our newer songs are so much better. And like the new song, let's be honest, best song ever. Fucking just saying. But yeah, I'll read the next question. Let's have a look. Given the seeming success, this is from Matt Hunter number 10. Given the seeming success of games like Star Wars Armada and X-Wing, I'll add Star Trek Attack Wing, but I know of no one who plays it. Do you think it's time GW brought back Battlefleet Gothic?
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, I It would, knowing modern GW, it will be released in limited numbers.
They're already on the
It'd
4th
get
edition.
Scalped to shit, and then they wouldn't make it again, and so you would not be able to get it.
Yeah. But let's say that
It'd be a
Matt
limited
Hunter
box
wasn't
set.
being a cynical prick. And is just like, let's say they bring it back and it's good.
Yeah, I would like to see them have another shot at it, because
Yeah.
I think Battlefleet Gothic is a very interesting game, and it's one of those games that I feel could do with another run at just streamlining some parts of it, because some parts of it it's one of those games that is occasionally unreasonably complex for no good reason. In that sort of way that an early version of something is, before they've had a chance to really refine it.
Yeah.
And so I would like to see them have a shot at it again. If for nothing else, then I'd quite like to, be able to get hold of some of the models.
I think that's fair.
Because we've got a handful, obviously, but it'd be nice to see them again. I think there is a niche for it, but I mean, I guess it depends on whether there is a niche for it that Games Workshop is interested in fulfilling. If there is enough for them to warrant putting it out again,
Yeah. I'm happy with that answer.
Yeah.
Germany Bum, anything to add?
Yeah, I'd love to give it a try. Can't commit to be painting anything because, I haven't.
The great
one
thing
day I might
about
finish my
Battlefleet-
first hour.
You can't stop having children, can
The
you?
great thing about Battlefleet Gothic
I very much can.
Fair. I've heard it's like, it's a lot of work.
The interesting thing about Battlefleet Gothic model painting is that it's like 90% dry brushing, so it's actually really easy to knock out a fleet in an afternoon.
Yeah, no, yeah. All right, fair enough. Yeah.
But also they are very small and edible.
Oh no, I'm not saying that they are something you should have around children. But
See, this is one of the, a big reason I'm like, I don't want kids, is because I have a lot of expensive grown-up toys, and I like them to be within grabbing distance, and that kills children, so that's a problem. Bearded Cyborg says, our Lord and Saviour Drummer Matt, as a fellow DILF, what is your opinion of the popular show Bluey? My niece and nephew fucking love Bluey. And I think it's just such an Australian thing.
I've seen a few clips of it, and it does seem like quite a funny show.
It's quite cute. And I like how Bluey's a girl. But it's for Drummer Matt. Because he's the DILF. Drummer Matt, you're just not answering this question.
No, hang on, sorry. I zoned out slightly. Apologies. I was apparently
really?
daydreaming about... Yeah, say again.
You were daydreaming about, I don't know, eating miniatures. But yeah, what is your opinion of the popular show Bluey?
Oh, I don't... Yeah, okay, I did have here. I have no opinion at all. I'm aware it exists. And
Your
that's
kids don't like Bluey?
I don't know, haven't seen it, haven't tried. Forgot it existed until this moment.
Oh, fuck, okay. Also,
No, kids are into Paddington and Thomas are the go-tos.
Oh, like old school Thomas or modern Thomas?
Both. There's old school Thomas, is in the old, filmed on a model railway Thomas, and then the new Thomas, they do have new episodes, which is technically the same series. It's up to series 24 or something daft.
Oh, Jesus.
It is a continuation of, but
they've got Kiefer Sutherland in it.
But they evolved. They added in season 10 or 12 or something. They started adding a bit of CGI. They CGI'd the faces first, so the faces could actually talk.
Oh, I don't know if I like that.
I like it when they get mad, their eyes spin.
But that didn't last long, and it was only a couple of seasons, and it went full CGI. And rather than having a narrator, they all have voice actors.
Yeah.
And things. But it is still the sort of continuation of the original one. So sometimes you can get away with watching one of the old ones, and sometimes it's no, newer ones.
But the old ones are great because they have
the old ones
models.
are great. I know, they're so much
love
better.
the models.
But then New Thomas is the worst. It's called I can't even remember what the series is called, but it's they stopped the old series and made a new one. And it's just 2D cartoon animated rather than 3G CGI animated. Although I assume it's computer generated 2D animated. Anyway, the train, they can they move their 2 front wheels up and down as if they're arms and can pick stuff up, and they can jump between they can bounce between tracks, and it's fucking horrible.
I've just realised that
sounds
we're all
body horror.
I've just realised that we're all Thomas the Tank Engine G1ers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if you're not Richard Starkey, I'm not listening to you about fucking trains. I'm just not doing it. But
Nice use of his actual name.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Don't explain.
No.
No, if you don't know, you don't know, and you won't ever know. And also, for all three of you, what breed of dog do you think you are? I'm a husky.
Yeah, because you yell a lot.
I scream.
Yeah.
Like when Wib's like, we need to go to the doctor, I lie on the floor and go, Meow!
This is true. This is true.
Yeah. So I'm definitely a husky. Wib is a borzoi.
Is that because of my nose?
I like noses. I like noses and I like moustaches, okay?
Yeah.
But no, it's because you really like borzois and they're weird alien dogs.
I like Borzois. They're just fluffy greyhounds.
How on earth do you spell Borzoi?
Borzoi. They're like just dogs. They're just they're
those guys. Yeah.
What if a greyhound was fluffy? I also do really like
you like
greyhounds.
greyhound. I'm trying to think of like a dog that is kind of like a cat and they always look grumpy.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You have to find a dog with I guess like a basset hound is my vibe.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Oh, Dramat's like he's big and he has resting bitch face.
I'd just go a lab or something fairly.
But you are like the sweetest, most like cherishable human being. So I'm trying to think of like a big dog that's actually a dog, like a pit bull. Because not
like a golden retriever.
No, I was like a pit bull because they always look like they've got this really warm smile, and people think they're scary, but then they're actually like really gentle and lovely dogs.
I don't think anyone thinks I'm scary, to be fair.
Dude, you're 6'9". No.
I'm 5'11" and a half.
No, you're like 6 foot, dude. Shush.
I'm just shy of 6 foot, I think.
Okay. Don't be shy. It's okay. But no, I remember... there was a few comments, because when we did the live MisanthroPod, everyone was like... I literally saw there's like a handful of comments going, holy shit, Dramat's hot. And they were like, we thought you'd be like this like Star Wars... Like, like the weird WoW nerd from South Park.
I think the thing is that...
okay, one, rude to that guy, because the problem with that guy is that he was personality-wise was a piece of shit.
I would say that this is also after us fueling
the
speculation.
totally true stories about Dramat.
Yeah, for us making up telling very true stories. Sorry
Thank you.
about that. So,
yes, very true. But yeah, no, I love how straight away I'm a husky. Or if there's the whole kind of like, oh, what animal are you? Cockatoo.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'm just cockatoo. I have echolalia and I scream.
Yeah.
And like, I have echolalia to the point where I don't know I'm doing it. So I'll be in the fucking kitchen and...
What happened in Sainsbury's the other day?
Oh my god, yeah. Oh no.
So yeah, Snipe has, it's presumably to do with ADHD, it has echolalia, which if you're not aware is where you will just repeat things to yourself. Like
you're like a parrot, but it's a tick.
It's
basically.
very similar to it's similar, but not quite the same thing as like Tourette's.
It's in the same kind of school of that kind of thing.
But it's not.
It's nowhere near as severe.
It is a thing that is it's nowhere near as severe as that, but it's a similar kind of vibe. And Snipe will just repeat things.
And the thing is, the fact that I don't know I'm doing it a lot of the time means that I will have done this in public and not noticed.
Oh yeah, you do it all the time.
Oh, don't say that. Not when I'm out in public on my own.
And we were in Sainsbury's and a couple walked past us and they were obviously having an in-joke and they went, butter, to each other. Butter.
It's like, well, we need butter. And the girl goes, butter. And I go, butter. Like at them, like perfectly in time. And then immediately I'm like... smack him. I'm like, oh no.
Your hand goes over your mouth. You're like, oh god.
And I lose like all the blood drains from my face, and I'm like, oh my god. They think I'm that fucking weirdo. Oh no. Oh no. See, it's not just me walking past Cookie Cake going, I love my daddy. No.
Oh, you do that a lot as well, yeah.
I don't do that, do I?
You do the Silent Hill Origins, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love
my dad. I can't do it properly.
You
because
do that
the thing with
quite often.
echolalia is it's always in the same cadence. so I can try and repeat it, but it's not the same. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, you get things in your head. I usually know whatever's roaming around your head because it's when you go to the kitchen and I'll hear whatever it is, like how can it fly when it has no feathers?
The bubble.
From the bubble.
Dita Bravo.
Or my son does not have ADHD, he just likes to jump, which is another Pedro Pascal quote, I believe.
It is. It is.
And I'll just hear that from the kitchen.
Yep.
Do you want to ask one more question, then we'll wrap up?
No, we can go through. It's fine. I don't want to leave anyone undone. Flannel Wolf Samus, what's a piece of lore from a fictional universe you love, despite how dumb/ridiculous it is? Which is a fucking awesome question. I'm trying to think because that was like, quick, tell a joke. Ooh, that's a good question.
You got one, Matt?
Don't know.
I will say, like 40k, the one everyone knows. Orcs just believing shit, making it manifest. I think that's just so good.
Yeah,
it's so fucking stupid. I love it. It's that kind of joyfully silly.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like that where it's just that is really stupid and it probably shouldn't be in there, but I'm glad it is. I'm trying to think. That is very much. I can't think of something in the moment at all.
Yeah.
My mind has gone blank. I've forgotten every piece of media that
you've
I
ever
enjoy.
consumed.
We'll all have great answers as soon as we stop hitting,
Yeah.
stop recording.
Yeah, absolutely. They have another one. What song or songs always make you happy?
I don't know, but I can tell you one that always makes me really relaxed, which is the Final Fantasy Prelude song.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of like that's a very strong nostalgic trigger.
Yeah,
for you.
especially the version of it from Final Fantasy VII. That always just really mellows me out if I hear it.
I will say Neon God by K. That's such a cute little bouncy song.
Koinosperm.
Koinosperm by Maximum the Hormone.
There is no way.
I always have to do the little dance that they do in the video.
There is no way.
Always.
There is no way to not be happy while listening to that song.
Awesome Forces by the Aquabats. That is such a that's another kind of like, it's so upbeat.
Super Rad also, I think, is
Super
Rad.
Rad.
Pretty fun Aquabat song.
Yeah. That's really
Mr.
good.
Blue Sky, ELO. That's always a...
That is a pretty
That's a good
fun
one.
song.
That's a good
If we're going a bit more old school.
Oh, Rocks by Primal Scream.
Don't think I'm familiar with that one.
It's good. I like that one.
Okay.
It's not a super happy song, but it's upbeat. It's got trumpets in it in the kind of bluesy way, and like it's just it hypes me up. It's good.
John the Fisherman by Primus. Primus make me laugh.
When I grow up, I want to get that's it.
Yeah.
John the Fisherman.
Yeah.
Fucking Primus sucks.
Yeah, no, Primus are the best.
No, but if you say Primus sucks, that means you're a true fan.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole thing.
They did it just so people would argue in their YouTube fucking comments, and you know what? Yeah,
I think they did it long before.
No,
those
they
things.
did. I'm being a twat.
Oh,
but like,
great.
yeah,
Excellent.
it's very funny. Let's have a quick look. Oh, Simon says no wishes for you. Just just good wishes for you, Snipe and Drama Matt. That's really sweet.
Yeah, you've got them on your phone in a different order to me. So
Twitter is a fucking hellscape. Always has been. Necoscience says, so how would you go about collecting old models as a tertiary student with a limited budget living in New Zealand? I don't even know, mate.
all I can say is what I do, which is I just get them off eBay. Frankly,
I'm sure Necoscience hasn't thought of eBay, the online marketplace.
There's things like Troll Trader, and I hear good things about Oldhammer Facebook groups for getting old models, but I refuse to go on Facebook, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's the big barrier to entry there.
My life got better, my skin cleared up, snakes stopped manifesting in my home.
I'm
as
actually
soon
quite
as
upset about that. Go back to that.
As soon as I stopped going on Facebook, so I refused to
got
check.
banned from Facebook. I don't know why. And then I made a new account, and that got banned before I could even like post a picture because it said I was suspicious.
You are pretty suspicious, in fairness.
I am, but like in a way that they shouldn't really care about.
Yeah.
But,
But yeah, it's it really depends on what you're after, because there are some things that are easy to get and some things that are hard to get. one of my ideas for videos that I've got kind of a script half written, and one day I will do, is a little primer on collecting old models and the things you have to kind of go through to get them and what you have to do to them, because obviously you ain't getting them brand new. Well, you can sometimes.
Yeah, if you want to spend like hundreds of pounds or whatever, that's fine. But
mostly you're going to be getting secondhand models and the various foibles that there is to that. But yeah, really,
there are a lot of groups.
Yeah,
that you could probably get like swapsies in and stuff.
Yeah, like I say, Oldhammer groups on Facebook I hear are very good. I've mostly done it through eBay. Sometimes I've even found them through like people selling stuff on Twitter. But yeah, it's all I can say is good luck. And how difficult it is really depends on what you're after. Old school Space Marines you can do without it getting too bad price-wise, because you can still find the RTB01 plastic kit models for a reasonable price. But some things like, say, squats or say old Tyranids or even old Imperial Army stuff can get real expensive real quickly. So
also be aware that SEO is a very real plaguey problem, and people will constantly mislabel things just so they can get more money out of you.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of that.
There's the amount of time I'm on eBay and going like, that is not a Rogue Trader piece. That is from 1995.
Yeah, Rogue Trader isn't. Oh, it's old. It's a specific, but whatever. But yeah, best of luck to you, Necroscience.
Yeah, all I can do is wish
Best
you
of
luck.
luck.
Wish you luck.
Dave Megason, would you like a crumpet?
I could go for a crumpet.
Drum at
Yeah, crumpet. What's your go-to crumpet topping?
butter.
Yeah, I just really like butter on them. Yeah. Hey,
I don't get jam on. I used to eat them raw because
Oh, well, that's the worst.
Yeah, that's awful.
I got called. I'll see if I can remember if I can. Ashley was the bully who tortured me about my lunch, because there's nothing funnier than a poor kid who has the same thing for lunch every day. Let's bully them. They've obviously got it going too easy. So I would occasionally pack my own lunches like raw crumpets, and I ate it. And she turns around and goes, "Oh my god, that's feral," because feral was bad when I was growing up, and I was just like. So I started spitting at her. She went away. So I was like, "You gonna call me a feral? I'm gonna fucking act like one." I had one crumpet for lunch. That was it. And I spat most of it at Ashley. Fuck you, Ashley. I hope you're dead. Tartan Rock. How do you get over a painting block? Fuck, mate. That's a great question.
I wish I could tell you that the answer is anything other than
force it.
You just have to fucking do it.
What I tend to do is I tend to try and make it like well, this is just for getting over blocks in general. I will turn it into a kind of self-care exercise. Because ADHD, I don't have any gratification for working hard, and then I don't get that rush of serotonin after I've done something. I just go, well, that was a pain in the ass. So what I do is I go, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a nice drink, maybe some Castilla del Diablo, maybe some vodka. I literally have on or off when it comes to things like this, and I'll get myself like a nice pastry I really enjoy, and I'll eat that and drink, like have a bit of vodka while I'm painting, and like I'll watch a movie I really like, and just try and give myself like buffs, for lack of a better word. So it's like, I'm doing something that I'm finding difficult, but I'm having a fondant fancy, I'm having a vodka, I'm watching fucking Die Hard, I'm watching like Terminator, and I just make it, I'll light a nice candle, and I'll just like basically make it a really pleasant experience with just a little bit of a push through the block. That's kind of what I do. But unfortunately, sometimes you just need to let these things settle themselves as hard as you can try. And I found that if you really, really try and push through a block, it can make it worse.
Yeah, my actual advice.
Wow. That is my actual advice. And that the way you said it, like, oh yeah, but if you want some actual advice, instead of
actual advice that might actually help is.
I'm glad you got that too. I was just like,
no, just because I said at the start, you just got to fucking do it. Like
I know, but contextually after me saying that sounded so fucking mean.
My actual advice, not related to your actual advice.
Thank you.
is that when I am feeling burnt out and unable to do something, is to do something different. So, say if you are painting Space Marines because you're a Warhammer player, statistically you're painting Space Marines.
Let's be honest. Yes.
I literally am painting Lamenters like before this
Thank you,
this
hipster
happened.
scum.
But if you're doing that, then paint something different. Maybe something that, say, isn't related to whatever is you're currently working on. So say if the reason why it's kind of got on top of you is because you need to finish this army and it's really got on top of you, is to just paint a model that's completely unrelated to it. And maybe something that is not really that important, like say some random model that you've got knocking around, and just paint that.
That's a very cool. It's like I've found that Space Marine Heroes, like where you just buy a little mystery mini box, and like I just occasionally I'll get one because I fancy just like I just fancy a bit of a surprise. I fancy putting something together.
Yeah,
and it can be really refreshing to just, like you say, do something outside of your norm because a change is as good as a rest.
Yeah, I think that can be a really helpful thing if you are finding yourself overwhelmed by a specific project, because sometimes you'll then go and do something else for a while, and that can kind of click it in your brain. Because I find myself that I get very easily overwhelmed, and
batch painting burns me out.
Yeah, and as soon as I get back into it. Then there's no fucking stopping me. I'll just go for it, and I'm like, why did I just stop for like 2 months? Why?
And it's like, well, there's a very good reason.
But usually just picking something different and doing something a little different just helps kind of break the seal. I find.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Drama Buck, you got any advice, honey?
I can't do what you do, Snipe. I can't. If I try and put telly on or like a film or TV or whatever, I can't. I get so distracted by they distract each other. The painting distracts the watching, and the watching distracts the painting. I get nothing done. I could do like a podcast or something and do that.
Well,
yeah,
I
tend
to like I'll be reading fan fiction on my phone, watching a movie, and having a conversation with Wib at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I have trouble just doing one thing. So so I appreciate that I am not neurotypical.
Yeah, it's like sometimes people say, "Oh yeah, what music do you listen to while you're writing?" And I'm like, I cannot write
without listening to music.
I cannot have a single distraction in the room whilst I am writing.
I have to be listening to something. I can't watch like YouTube or anything, but it has to be music. I always have to be listening to music.
I can,
because it not only anchors me, it keeps me in the zone just enough.
I can only just deal with music if it's got no lyrics.
I can listen to lyrics while writing.
Yeah, the moment a word is introduced, I just can't.
But then again, I write fantasy. I write fiction. You write like theses. You write important shit.
I don't think anyone.
And then she touched his wee wee.
I don't think anyone would describe Codex Compliant as a thesis.
Well, I think then people would be underselling it because the amount of work and shit you put into that is incredible. So, very impressive.
Thank you.
Also, nice butt.
Okay.
I need to research your butt.
That's the next question.
Okay. Next question is the illustrious David J. Bradley, whomst we love. Have you seen my keys? I can't find them anywhere. Have you checked under the sofa, sweetheart? Frank's got them. They're very cool cat.
Maybe next to the door somewhere?
Yeah.
Like if you got like...
Dry Matt, what was that, sorry?
A different pocket of your coat. That's where I found mine recently.
Yeah.
I normally put them in one pocket, so I didn't look in my other pockets of the coat.
Yeah.
So like, well, if they're in my coat, they're in the key pocket, and they weren't. They were just in a different pocket.
Yeah, whenever I can't find my keys, they're in my jeans pocket, because I forgot to take them out and put them in the tray when I got in.
Whenever I can't find my keys, they're probably in the fridge or in my jeans. Look, I have a carabiner, so I clip them to my jeans.
Yeah.
Or they're on my bedside table. Sometimes I put socks in the fridge. Sometimes... it's like you can't with me. You can't do that because I'll be like, no, I put them in the drawer.
There's no rhyme or reason.
No. Mod Hail. What is the one game, tabletop or digital, that you passed on when it was released and you still regret missing out on?
Space Hulk. I think it's the second edition of it.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it dirt cheap when I was in Games Workshop in the late 90s, and I wish I'd picked it up.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm trying to think because tabletops wise, not really. But any other game.
You're not quite as obsessed with like old models and stuff as
No,
I am.
I have an appreciation of them, but it's not something that I really have a pull to collect or anything. Because I mean, I can just.
You've got the odd ones that you like.
I've got the odd ones, but like, it sounds like a few models I'm not particularly interested in as a whole. So yeah, I couldn't actually say. What about you?
I really want to play the Ankh-Morpork Discworld board game, but it's out of print and people sell it on eBay for like dramatically too much.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually aware that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know
now
that.
I want that.
Right,
I
so
think
you
it's
change
meant
your
to be
answer.
quite good.
I picked
Meant to be
their
quite good,
answers,
but,
so
yeah.
How much does it sell for? Is this something that I can get away as a business expense?
I haven't checked recently. I can't remember. I just remember it being, not insignificant.
If there were ever a biopic made of your lives or Fighting Evil is Cool as a band, I think we should answer for both if we can. Who would play each of you and who would direct it?
Who would direct it? Well, it'd obviously have to be David Cronenberg.
Okay, that's how you. That's your answer.
The only way to fully get the true body horror that being in a band entails.
Okay, so the Fighting Evil one, we are all in agreement. It's Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't really do the body horror stuff very much anymore.
I know, but it's funny.
I think we can get him to
So who would play you in a biopic of your life and then of the band? Could be completely different vibes.
Well, I mean, what's the most generic looking white guy with a beard?
There's so many.
Exactly.
All of them at the moment.
Realistically, it just needs to be someone who can be dour and British.
I'm going to say as well, as a modifier, even though Modhell didn't say, you can just pick someone from any era and at any stage in their life. So, young Sean Connery for Matt.
Peter Cushing's.
Peter Cushing's for Wib.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
That would work quite well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'd fit, but I'm totally. I'll accept that as a compliment because he's great.
He'll fit in some way because he out of all of the actors that exist, he jumped into my head for some reason. So there must be some sort of.
There's some
he did play tabletop war games.
Huh. Is he British? Then yeah, he's played. He's not special.
like old like historical war games, like pre Warhammer.
Okay, so just war.
Just war.
Okay. What about in the? Who do you think will play the band in the biopic? In the band biopic. So Peter Cushing's for you.
I know. I don't mean to sound dismissive, but
I think Dicko should be played by Andy Serkis. He's got that kind of goblin energy that Dicko has. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love Dicko.
What about Jim Belushi?
Oh, Jim Belushi, yes.
Yeah.
That would be... Oh, that's a good one. Drummer Matt. I'm trying to think who would play Drummer Matt in the thing. I want to say, like, a young Pacino. Just because that's just the opposite vibe and it's very funny to me. No.
I am very, very bad at the whole fan casting thing, so I'm afraid I don't really have that much.
Well, it's easy because what you do is just go, who has the same hair colour?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much
What do we think, Snipe?
Me? Laurie Petty. She played Tank Girl.
Oh, her. Yeah, actually, yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
or sure. Margot Robbie. We've got the same kind of big smiley mouth. But of course, Margot Robbie's fucking gorgeous, so I kind of feel a bit cringe doing that. What do you think, Drama Matt? John Belushi, how about that? Dan Aykroyd to play me. Just give him like a.
Does I say Jim? Is it John? I always forget which one because there is Jim and John Belushi.
It's Jim Belushi, wasn't he? He's Joliet Jake.
Yeah.
I think that would be fine. Just everyone being played by Jim Belushi.
He just plays everyone. Okay, yeah. We go back in time and grab him.
I want to say who I want to play Dicko, but it'd probably upset him, so I don't want to say it.
I'm worried
Dicko, stop
now.
listening. I feel like Seth Rogen could do Dicko.
Wow.
They have the similar grating energy sometimes. Dicko is lovely, but he intentionally wants to wind you up. And I feel like Dicko intentionally being annoying is just how Seth Rogen is all the time.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You get what I mean? I don't know.
I'm not incriminating myself here.
Look, Not when Dicko's being lovely, but Dicko sometimes intentionally chooses to be annoying.
He does.
And that energy
does.
is very Seth Rogen.
I'd say we get Jack Black to play Dicko.
Oh, that would probably work, actually.
Yeah, and it's less harmful than what you just said.
Yeah.
You
Fair.
fucking dick.
Fair. Sorry, Dicko, love you.
Oh my god. But yeah, I think casting the rest of the band is difficult. So
Yeah, I think we could spend like an hour.
yeah, but for me,
this,
I'd probably say I have like tank girl Laurie Petty energy. Laurie Petty's incredible. I love her. I think when she was like younger, she would have made the perfect Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I've just realised what I should have gone with is if in the biopic they decide to
Oh wait, no, I changed my answer. Pedro Pascal should play me.
See, I was gonna say if they want to
Keep
do like
the beard, honey. Don't take it away.
if they want to do like a gender swap, I feel Tig Notaro matches my energy sometimes.
Yeah. That's cool. And I'd just still be Pedro Pascal. No, I wish. It's like, it is. We all think we're going to be Pedro Pascal, but we're all Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
We're all Drama Matt's harmful casting choice.
We think we're going to be a season 1 of The Mandalorian, but secretly
We're all season 3.
we're all Sausage Party.
Oh Jesus, that's even worse.
Or we're all Green Hornet.
Yeah, no.
A movie I got halfway through before realising it was supposed to be funny.
I am puzzling for Drama Matt though, because I'm trying to. Can I say Taron Egerton?
Yes.
Yes, because then he'd have to hang out with you to get your character. I'm just writing sexy fan fiction for Drama Matt right now.
You're writing erotic friend fiction like Tina Belcher.
I would not write friend fiction. I don't feel right about writing porn about people who are real. I think that's kind of horrible.
I was joking.
I am joking as well. You should always cross people's boundaries. No, I'm joking. No, don't do that. It's like
Anyway.
characters fine. People no, it's weird. But yeah, we've got a new one.
I think it's fine. It's fine. We're already at like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Any idea? Eat my ass on Burns Night. Fucking great name. Says any ideas for tiny graffiti to paint on my first model train? Gimme danger
Yeah.
or slam sector.
Yeah, both of those.
Yeah. Drama. Anything to you should agree with me. Anything to agree with that I've said? Everything.
Yeah, sure.
Excellent.
Okay, excellent. We are done. We are done.
We are done.
Go to bed, everyone.
Go to bed. And we
But it's 11 a.m. Did we fucking stutter? No. Go to bed. Be a winner.
do what the people on the internet tell you. When has that ever gone wrong? Apart from checks notes,
All the time forever?
The last like 30 years have been pretty bad due to the introduction of the internet. You should never listen to people on the internet, what they tell you.
Yeah,
ever.
but why should you listen to us? Where does people on the internet know?
Yeah, so don't listen to us. So listen to us. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Probably going to do a Twitter thing again because you've all let us down horribly. But yeah, no. God, the next time you'll talk, I will have had my surgery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So I'll tell you all about how much that hurts, and hopefully they'll be putting me on codeine.
Yeah, I get high as fuck, yeah.
Hopefully, I think to be fair, they're probably going to go, hey, you get half of an ibuprofen. And that's going to last you 6 weeks.
Yeah, ration that out. Anyway,
One lick a day.
so yeah, thank you everyone for listening to whatever this hallucinatory nightmare is.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next month, presumably.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.